How many players are in right now?
149.
That's not very many.
And I did good last night, but last night was a regular tournament that I'm more experienced at the play in it. I mean, 18th, and I had a shot. Last night's first place was like 35 grand. And I mean, when I went out in 18th too, like I mean, I was lower stacked, and I had to make a move kind of, but I could have folded that hand and waited for a better one. I just didn't know what was going to happen there. I went all in with like pocket sevens, but it was because I was low stacked. You know, That's a hand that I could have chose to fold. It was borderline, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact that there's only 18 more spots for 35 grand compared to 1,100 or whatever I got.
Right. Yep. I definitely don't play.
So you don't want to see all the trannies this weekend, huh?
That was so funny because I saw the Oktoberfest thing pop up, and so I sent it to Amy, and I was like, "Hey, I'm like, convince Kim to go to this," and she's like, "I'm not going to be here, but Al's going to see. He's going to see the Miss America pageant if you want to do that." And I was like, well, she's like, by the way, it's gay Miss America. I was like,
it's called Miss apostrophe like D.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I was like, does that mean women are lesbians, or does that mean it's men in drag?
It means they're trannies, right?
Yeah, that's what she said. Is all they're men in drag or whatever. So,
you like my little faux hook I got going on here?
I do. Your little faux hawk's pretty nice there. Is it? It's not red anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I might make it with some red again. I don't know. It depends if I have time. I just do that shit when I'm really bored at nights.
I hope Amy's going.
Did the trannies make you more or less interested than regular Miss America?
Well, the thing is, the whole pageant stuff is just ridiculous to me anyway. So that would probably make it more interesting. But like, I have no desire.
I would debate. I kind of am just going because a couple of friends are going. I mean, I actually think it makes me less interested. Yeah. I'd rather, if anything, I'd go watch a swimsuit competition of like the hottest girls in America over fucking a bunch of trannies on stage that are fucking around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the whole pageant scene in general, I don't have any desire to see. So it's kind of like, it doesn't matter if they're women or men or whatever. I'm like, the whole thing is just, I don't like it.
But midget wrestling any day of the week. I hope all this is the stuff that that Sean cuts out of the videos and doesn't actually get posted, right?
It doesn't matter.
I would go to channel might mysteriously get hacked. Oh, I think I might call this all. The guy went all in for 13,000. I got ace queen suited. I'm in for 1,800. It's less than half. Oh man, it's tough. I'm doing it.
What position? What betting position?
He had ace king.
You could.
So close. I lost it. Damn, I was doing really well until I did that. It was, I mean, that close. It was ace queen, ace king he had. Yeah. And I know people were playing a little looser in a six max. That's part of the stuff I'd have less experience with on how loose and what kind of cards they're opening with. There's way more going all in, I can see. Oh man,
well, that's the hard part online though too, is you can't read anybody and do any of that.
You just got to read the bets. You got to bet. That's all you can do. I mean, you can pay attention and get reads off bets. You just have to really focus on it. I can't do that while I play D&D for sure. But if I'm
that's what I was going to say.
If I'm like dead focused on it for hours, like and I'm playing with the same people, you can definitely read bets. But
pick up patterns. Yeah, pick up patterns. But
yeah, I was doing right now. That dropped me to dead middle of 140 left. I'm in 69th, but I was like in the top 20.
Yeah,
but it's still so long to go. Like I'm big blind with pocket sixes. Little blind just went all in. This I got to fold, but it's like a lot more all in.
So he's got
aggressive.
So he's got. I'm gonna guess he's got pocket queens. How much you want to bet?
I mean, I had to fold. I couldn't see.
Oh, it was just you and him.
I had pocket sixes, a big blind. Yeah, I couldn't call it with that.
No.
But it's 6 players. It's just so much different.
Yeah.
To me, it is because I'm comfortable playing regular, and I'm used to it.
Yep. Howdy.
Yay.
We're recording, by the way. Sean informed us. So
listen, but that didn't stop me from saying any of the stupid shit I said already. So this better all get cut out, Sean.
Yeah,
I won't add any of the drama that's happened today. Though.
Oh, you're more than welcome to.
No, it's okay.
Drama? How you doing, Mark? Everything all right?
Yeah. No, everything's fine with me.
Where's Drama?
Oh, the children had drama.
Oh, that's
Oh.
what normal.
Yeah.
That's how
It's awesome.
work.
I'm sure, Ben will run into it soon.
Every night.
All right. I got to help or something. I'll be back.
Good. By the way, when I talk, I can hear myself come back through your speakers. Not that it is giving me reverb or anything like that, but just letting you know. So
Yeah, it's coming out of the wrong speakers. I meant to fix that, but then I got in that hand with aces, and I was doing fucking great until I got into that hand with my ace queen. Ace queen is a shitty hand. Everyone always loses with ace queen. Too many times with ace queen, you're against ace king is the problem.
pocket jacks. That's what I always lose. I don't ever had. Got to be a rare situation where I'm playing pocket jacks because I always think they're better than they are.
Best thing is get information. Raise, they re-raise. You at least got to think about it if there's one re-raise. But
Right.
if there's one re-raise, you might want to just re-raise minimum again because if he re-raises again, you're definitely beat.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? If they go back and forth 4 times, you're definitely beat.
Depending upon the player.
If somebody raises before you and you re-raise, so that's like 3 bet. They call that, right? So somebody raised and you re-raise, right? That's 3 bets so far.
Right.
If somebody 4 bets, fold 2. No reason to even call it because if they 4 raised already, at that point you're probably beat. I mean, not definitely, but not talking about any players or just in general patterns. It's that's when you should get off of jacks and lose the little money if possible. Use those little raises to get information on if you're already behind.
Yeah, my problem. I know my problem is one, I don't play. Second problem is
clean again.
My second problem is that I get too predictable with my bets. So
in real life, just get a beer and act drunk and throw chips in. They'll throw everybody off.
well, I never play, so it's just silly, but yeah.
Everyone folded that time.
So you won the blinds. Nice work.
Yeah, it's 6 people, so like the blinds hit you a lot quicker too, though. You got to win them a lot.
Are you playing a turbo or is it a regular?
No, I mean this is actually the World Series of Poker Circuit event, but it's a 6 max. So it's only. I mean the blinds are just going around the table that much quicker because there's only 6 players per table.
Right. Sure. That makes sense. They raise what every hour?
Well, if it was like a real life tournament, they would probably be raising every 40 minutes. But online, it's always quicker because there's a ton of time saved by the dealer and automatic chips.
Oh yeah.
So let me see what they are in this. They're 15 minutes. So
Wow.
like if that was in real life, it would be like a turbo, but it's not as much online just because there's no dealer errors, there's no dealer slowdown, there's no bullshitting. There's each player only has like 20 seconds to react, so they can't even like stall for long.
That's so even you can't stall at all. Like if you get into a big hand, you get 20 seconds to decide what you're going to do.
The normal turn is 20 seconds, and you get a 60-second time bank that you can only use total per like once every hour or so. So that's for your big decision hands. So that's fair. I mean, you get that extra minute beyond the 20 like once an hour, and you can use it in whatever increment you want.
Okay,
which I agree with. That way, people aren't taking the extra minute all the time. You should only have to take that extra minute once in a while in a big hand or whatever it may be.
You're probably not going to have many big decisions more than once an hour anyways, probably. So
exactly. And later on, they could give you longer time banks. It all changes based on the tournament size and like where you're at in it too. On the final table, they might give every person a 2-minute time bank or long. It's all different.
All right. Well, Sean's maybe listening, maybe not. We don't know, but we can get going here. Anyways, I'm going to give you guys kind of a recap since it's been a bit since we played last. You guys kind of know what happened last time, and then we'll kind of either you guys can kind of play Sean and Chuck, or I can kind of just jump them around, whatever you like. So
Is Chuck possibly making it still, or not, definitely not?
it didn't sound like it was real confident he was going to jump on.
He said that we could just use him as our meat shield anyway.
Yeah, probably fine. But okay, cool. So last time you guys kind of picked up with the assassin that was still on deck. You guys were slowly kind of whittling him down. He ended up killing the rest of the merchants on the boat. Killed Tiny, the provisioner, and he basically verified that Xander, the merchant from Xandu Sundries, was going to die, which he did. Appeared to be from poison. And as you guys kind of closed in on the assassin and he looked like he was kind of on his last leg, he paused, seemed to be listening to something, and then stopped and looked at all of you and said, "Seems to be your lucky day," and then kind of disappeared in a globe of darkness. You guys attempted to run through the darkness in multiple directions to ferry him out and find him, and he seemed to just vanish. So it was kind of odd. Thorin kind of recovered from his swim in the water, and during that period of time, ended up taking out the mage that was on shore, which kind of saved you guys from any remaining fireballs that was there. Whisper, you kind of ran onto the dock, dove off, and made it aboard just as the ship was kind of heading out into harbor. Thorin was talking to Alundo through message and said that he recommends that you guys lay low for a few days. Said he would meet you in 10 days at a small abandoned dock kind of to the north of Squallhaven. So you guys decided that maybe it would be a good idea to head out and try and find these Hellcat slavers, the ones that had the collars around your neck, since Alundo got some information from the captain of the Windseeker that showed up at the dock, and he basically gave you some information about the collars, and that collars that were only had a few more days before they were going to cause you problems and potentially finish you guys off. So at that point, you had 7 days from that point. So you guys headed out. Your first mate, Shalrog, kind of knew approximately where this South Sea stronghold was that they kept talking about. But he suggested that you guys stop kind of in a small island alcove and make some repairs to the boat, since you took a fireball on the bow to kind of make significant damage. So you guys headed out of Squallhaven for about a half a day, and you got to this deserted island that the crew of the Golden Harpy had used before, when Captain Kuda had stopped there before. So the crew kind of started on the repairs for the boat, minus a few recruits you took ashore, and some of Strider kind of worked with that crew and doing some training, while the rest of you kind of went exploring on the island. As you kind of went around, you uncovered a mostly buried huge statue in the ground made out of some kind of metal that didn't tarnish, even though it looked like it was iron. Actually, Whisper, you can make an intelligence check on that, by the way, too, since you did see it, and I forgot to have you do that.
He did see it?
He did see it. He was there with you. Remember when you guys were hunting the boar? Well, he was on the island. But
Chuck was playing.
Yeah, but Chuck was playing Mark at the time. Yeah, that's good enough. So I'm gonna type it to you, Mark, what that is. Find your name in this gigantic list. Here it is. I don't remember how to do it. Oh, it's just W, that's why.
I think somebody stole my Dungeons and Dragons notes.
You up?
Said I think somebody stole my Dungeons and Dragons notes.
It was not me. Sorry. So I sent that to you, Whisper. So anyways, so you guys found this mostly buried statue in the ground with this weird metal that was there. You kind of unearthed part of it, and you discovered that there was an arm outstretched pointing to the southwest from where you guys were. At that point, Whisper and Strider decided to hunt.
You sent something to me?
Yeah, did you get it?
Would it just go in
Should just be in chat.
Yeah, no.
Weird. It says it went to Whisper.
Did you get confused with whispering to whisper?
It does make it a little confusing. But let's see. I wonder if
this is something that he may not want to tell me.
He probably wouldn't tell you. I'll just text it to you in chat. How's that? That'll work for sure. In the other chat, the Hangouts one.
Okay.
Fine. Mail him a letter.
Autocorrect. There we go. All right. So anyway, so Whisper and Strider headed out after that and decided that they were going to go hunt some of the boar that you guys kind of spooked on the island to try and feed the crew and to kind of stock up on supplies. And you did manage to kill one of them, and you also disturbed a giant boar on the island, which then charged Whisper, goring him and knocking him to the ground. You guys did end up killing it and ended up with about 300 pounds of meat. So this was a big boar. After that, you guys continued exploring a little more and discovered quite a few nests, clutches of giant turtle eggs. Strider decided to take 6 of the eggs, luckily not all of them, back to the ship. And as you brought them on board, the first mate, Shalrog, kind of borderline panicked after seeing them and said that you guys need to leave right now, as he was pretty sure that they were dragon turtle eggs. And so at that point, even though the ship wasn't completely repaired, it was mostly repaired, but not completely repaired, you pulled up anchor and headed out to sea, leaving the island as quickly as possible. And that's kind of where we left off.
It was, did anybody recognize the statue? Was it humanoid? Was it,
Yeah, so Elundo did identify it as some type of giant. He wasn't sure. From the build and from the make, it looked like it was representing some kind of a giant, and it definitely was giant-sized. But as far as craftsmanship, nobody could kind of tell who had made it or who the craftsperson people were. But that was definitely representing some giant.
Did he make a Arcana check to see if it was maybe if it was a person turned into stone or the metal?
He did do. I think he cast detect magic, and it didn't come up as magical for anything in the area. So.
Right.
I don't know if he told you when it was pointing off the direction that you didn't see it pointing at anything, but it was pointing.
Yeah, I pointed to the southwest. So if we go here, I'll move you guys to this other map so you can see where we were at and all that other stuff. Because I don't think you saw that. On this map, kind of, you guys can see that circle. Circle's where Squall Haven is, the town.
Mm-hmm.
That little tiny dot in between Squall and Haven there. If you zoom in on the map there, that's where the island is that had the statue on it. And from that dot, it was pointing to the south, and to the west is where the arm was pointing. Kind of in, I'll draw a line. South, and ooh, that's not a line. Why isn't it drawing a line? It's driving me crazy. Kind of in this direction. Like, kind of like that.
All right. So kind of almost out to sea.
Yep, kind of like that. Yeah, so yeah, go back to the other map. So you guys are currently aboard ship and heading out to sea. Is there anything you'd like to do before you keep sailing?
Yeah, I'd like to go check on the eggs. I want to make sure that Alondo's keeping them properly warm, make sure the stones are still warm, and I want to go in and just kind of spend some time with them.
Okay. Yeah. Bye.
I had to get my ointment.
Cool. Yeah, so I think you guys were talking about potentially keeping the the eggs on deck for a little bit to try and heat them up. He was also casting precipitation on some metal to kind of keep it warm as well. So he was, based on his experience from reading in a book, he knew that he needed to that the eggs needed to stay warm. As far as how warm, how often, all the rest, he had no idea.
Were they? I'm guessing that we found them in a nest of some kind, buried.
They were. Yep. You found multiple clutches around there, and ended up taking roughly about half the eggs that were there. And
do we have any bags or any straw or anything on the boat?
There's no straw, but there are definitely bags. You have plenty of burlap sacks and stuff that you can make a.
Right now, we have them set up in a cell with the heated rocks where Alondo's casting prestidigitation on them to keep them warm. I think they're just in. I don't know if they're in any like hay material right now.
No, they're just. He actually found some scrap metal, and that's what they're kind of sitting on right this time because it can. Keep that. But.
I want to, once I'm in the cell with the eggs, I kind of want to just kind of sit in the middle of them and, just start touching them all and keeping them close. And I want to try to use, hold on a second, it's not clairvoyance. Let me see what it was called again.
Skill.
Yeah, my animal whispering ability. Hold on, let me see what again. 1 second.
Oh, and talk to the eggs.
Yeah, I've been working on it. It didn't work successfully last time, but I didn't realize that they actually would be in the intelligence level where it very well may work. I'm not sure, hoping to find out. And maybe it'll work on some. I don't know. I want to try, though. Yeah, so I want to try to communicate with them again. What the hell is the name of that skill? 1 second, Ben.
Goodbye.
Yeah, have one imprint on you would be pretty sweet if we could keep it alive. Feeding it's going to be a pain in the ass. We are in a ship, and they're dragon turtles, so.
Absolutely.
Sounds like they'll be very small for a good period of time.
Yeah, you guys have never really had none of you have had any experience with them directly. You've heard a lot of rumors, obviously, about what they can do and how terrifying they are, but you don't know a lot about them otherwise.
Right.
Go whisper while I'm just pulling that back up.
Say again.
You can do whatever he wants to do while I'm pulling this.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
I'm multitasking.
I'll just go around with the crew and help with any repairs, check out rigging, check the sails,
Yep.
that kind of work. Make myself useful.
That's cool.
And then I'll make insight checks every now and then on the crew to see how they're doing.
Okay. Yeah, it's you don't even need to roll. That's fine. It's pretty obvious that they're you can tell because they are a green crew. A lot of them are a little bit shocked about what's happening, especially with the way your quick exit and the rest that's happening. But it seems that they have some confidence in you guys, kind of with what you've been able to do, and you've come through on your promises so far. So they're kind of in more of a wait to see kind of a mode than anything else.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll just continue on then. We'll just say I know that unless you guys are opposed to it, that Chalrog was kind of full steam ahead as fast as you guys could move. Is where he was kind of heading out is what he wanted to do. So.
Yeah.
So I believe anyway. Before I even get that back up, I believe I could communicate with any animals right now when their what was it? Their intelligence was less than like 5. I believe it was before I put up the exact number. So I'm right now just trying to touch all the eggs and see if I get any feeling or communication or just any thoughts. I mean, I realize they're eggs, and just see if I get like anything where I feel like I might be starting a bond, or maybe like feeling what it's thinking or feeling in there.
Yeah, go ahead and you can roll a survival check. We'll let you do that, and I'll even let you roll it with advantage, just so that we'll say that kind of gives you the your skill gives you that, and I'll let you know what you kind of get from them if you get anything.
Great. And now, would I roll that once for all 6 eggs?
Yeah, that's fine. Unless you want to roll it separately, it's up to you.
I mean, I would, just because I was thinking like some of it may work different individually. It may work differently with, and I also thought I might get different senses from them if I was successful.
Sure.
Thought I might feel.
Well, there are 6, so we'll just go ahead and roll it 6 times. I'm just going to write down 1 through 6, and I'll let you know. So. Okay, so you don't get anything from the first egg. The second egg, you get that there's definitely life in there, that it's something is moving inside, and that there's some sort of life, but there's really no sort of a response to it. Your communication. The third one, you can tell that there is something in there, but it is dead. There's no response to it. The fourth one, you're not sure. It could be a stone. The fifth one, you do get something from it, and you get a few feelings out of it. And the biggest one is frustration, and the second one is hunger that you get from that. And then from the sixth one, you also get some feeling from that, and that one is more anger, and the secondary feeling is fear.
Okay, and I don't believe I can, from what I remember, from what I'm reading, I don't believe I can like communicate in any words, even if it was something that could understand words. But I believe I can put like images and like thoughts, like that type of stuff. So I would try to communicate back with all of them actually, and for all except the one. For the first 4 anyway, I would just try to communicate back like pictures of safe environment and like caring, just like a warm place. And, that would be like what I would try to put in the first 4, and then the frustrated, hungry, I would I would try to maybe communicate like trying to figure out what type of hunger. So maybe like I would, which because it's an egg, I have no idea. But try to communicate things like pictures of food or water or pictures of milk or just different things to see if it responded to any of them. And the fourth one, that anger fear, again, I would just do the same. I would kind of communicate just like a warm, like home loving environment, like just like a nice warm, like a picture of the eggs in this nice warm room, safe with me protecting them.
Okay. You do project an image of yourself though, or do you just project in general images of?
I would kind of project the image of like myself, like protecting them, like kind of like, but in it, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, myself.
Okay, cool. You do that, and the three that you got some sort of a response from seem to take more of an inquisitive kind of an approach. They seem to be listening a little bit, and you can tell they calm down a bit. There's a little bit of confusion that kind of comes into their thoughts as well. So,
And anything from the hunger frustrated one?
it actually just seems to intensify a little bit, the anger side of things. That's from the sixth one, the last one. Not so much both the anger and the fear side of things intensify a bit.
I mean the one that was frustrated hungry.
Frustrated hungry seems to calm a bit and seems more inquisitive and maybe a more curious than anything else. That's the fifth one.
Okay, so I mean I would just stop there, but I would just stay with them. I'm actually planning on just staying with them, making sure the eggs stay warm, and just keep kind of continuously giving them images of like well-being and just the same type of stuff, just a warm, protected, just protection and like atmosphere. That's all.
Yeah. We'll just say periodically that I'll look and see if anything changes, and we can roll. We'll just say we can roll that once a day kind of a thing and see if there's anything.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So you guys head out to sea. Let's see.
And my character begins to think of names for 1 through 6. Not that we came up with them now, but just to identify them based upon how the eggs look somehow. So I'm going to come up with that eventually.
All right, cool. Oops. Uno momento. I don't know why that screwed up, but anyways, you don't really need to see this yet anyway. So you guys head out to sea. Who would like to be the lucky person to roll a D100 for me?
Go for it, Mark.
Okay. What do I get to do? Tower?
No, it doesn't matter.
Any modifier?
Nope. Straight roll.
98.
98.
That's where I like to be.
Nice roll.
Yeah. So you guys are kind of traveling. I should have kind of described it for you, by the way. So as you head out of the island area, Whisper, you especially know that these are about as calm a seas as you get. There's really 1 to 2 foot swells, bright sunshine, about as nice of a day as you possibly get.
And how do we have a full crew? Are we undercrewed?
You are slightly undercrewed. You're for the size of the ship. There's about 40 passengers. 40 crew members you have on board. To be at full capacity here, you'd kind of want to be at about 50 for your size vessel. So you're definitely able to navigate and to work through, and it's not affecting your movement rate or any of the other fun stuff. But it's a little less than what you'd like to operate some of the weapons.
Okay.
A blessing, I guess, is that one of your weapons, the ballista, is gone off the front of the bow. So that's one less weapon you kind of have to worry about operating. But
Okay.
Go ahead. Any question?
No, I'm just thinking. Actually, I'm not doing anything because right now I'd probably still be in there with Yank. So I Whisper, are you up on deck? I don't know where.
Yeah, I'm up with the crew.
All right, I guess so. I would wait till next time I saw you. I guess.
You guys see that ship on the map? There's a little bit of water there. That's you guys, right?
Let's just say I sent one of the crewmen up to get Whisper that I saw walking by.
Okay, that's fine.
And because I realized, and Alondo is still here with us.
He is, yeah. He's not doing as well on the open sea as he originally wanted to, so he's feeling a little under the weather. He's not out of commission by any means, but he's kind of hanging on the railing and just kind of trying to look at the horizon and not be sick.
And what's his name is still with us too, obviously. Chuck's character.
Owen.
So I kind of would get you guys together and update you obviously on what's happened, because I know Whisper wasn't always with us the whole time, and kind of explain the situation with the ship and the crew, just so he knows what's going on. Give him I would have Owen actually give him a tour of the ship, since Owen's more ship savvy like Whisper is here. So I'm gonna have him I would ask Owen to kind of show him all around and introduce him to the crew, so the crew all know Whisper, and let him know that he's a trusted friend and
I
member
need
of
a piece of the flag too.
Yes.
And good call. We'll have we'll tell Owen. I would tell Owen that get with Shalrag right away. It should probably be his first priority on the ship, is to get him a piece of flag. Whisper, the first mate Shalrag actually keeps them under close watch because there's a very limited amount of extras of that. We do have some pieces left, but it's pretty limited. So
what's the name of the ship again? The Harpy?
Golden Harpy. Yes. So who's taking him on the tour? You said Owen's going to do it, and
I would just kind of do this all in a meeting right here. Well,
Okay.
I would instruct Owen to kind of walk him around and introduce him to the crew. And the other thing that I would ask of Owen and Whisper to work with the crewmen on is to make sure that our weapons are ready. It would be my suggestion, because I don't know that they were able to get them fully ready before we left port. So if you guys could check on them, I think I want to keep a close eye on the eggs for now. But if you need me, obviously, if anything changes, give me a yell.
Yeah, you really have you've never encountered Strider. Well, depending on your background, maybe you have, but as it stands now, you're not overly familiar with the cannons on the ship. So, Whisper, you've definitely seen them in your journeys. You've seen lots and lots of ships go by with these cannons. You probably haven't had a whole lot of interaction.
And I would kind of ask Whisper and Owen that, not knowing their knowledge, knowing that they both seem right now. They know about ships, so I would ask them if any of them are familiar with the weapons. And I don't know. Tell me how they would respond, or how you guys would.
Yeah, Owen would probably be the most knowledgeable around their operation, how they work, the condition, all that stuff, of anybody. But both Owen and Whisper are very familiar with ships in general.
So I would just suggest, Owen, if you could, while you're showing Whisper around, find out who's in charge of weaponry, and as far as the crew goes, and get with them to make sure that everything's ready to go.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
You've recovered from your seasickness, I see.
Yeah, you're still puking.
Yes, this doesn't suit me well.
Oh, just go clean up. It's all over your robe dress there.
Oh, yes. What do you know? You see my hand glow blue, and all of a sudden it all disappears.
I love
magic is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. So no, it's just simple.
Give me tits too.
Actually. What?
Breasts. Can you give me tits too?
What
just magically clean up your robes.
Oh, wait, tits? What are tits?
Oh, I think you know, and I nudge him and wink. All that shagging you were doing when we were in town?
Oh, I don't. It's you mean though? All right, I will then. And I do the cantrip illusion, and I give him others.
Oh no,
Nice.
you little fool! I was just joshing with you. Get rid of these things. I didn't think you'd really do it.
Oh, just move out of the way. They won't follow you. Don't worry. It's just an
I
illusion.
kind of back up and I'm confused, and I just see floating boobs.
Yeah, you see floating udders actually.
Mm-hmm.
So what was going on when I was gone? I'm sorry. I was.
All we did was pull away from the island, basically. And now we're out to sea. We are out to sea, and actually, just as you guys kind of get underway, the seas are extremely calm. Just so you know, they are about as calm as they will get on. It's almost flat water here. Very, very slight rolling waves, bright sunshine, a beautiful day for sailing.
Abundo, just to fill you in on probably what the most important thing so far was, besides the fact Whisper was just going to go on a kind of a tour of the ship with Owen to get used to things and check out the weaponry, but I actually have spent a lot of time with these eggs, and I do feel like all I'm going to say now to them is I feel like I am getting through to some of them. I definitely feel presences and life in some of these eggs, so I'm going to pay very close attention to them, and I'm going to need your help keeping them warm at all times.
Oh, of course.
Yep, cool.
We have the stones. We can keep those hot. I'm sure we only have to heat those up like once every few hours or something.
Yeah, they hold heat pretty well. The one challenge is you don't, obviously you're not really sure what temperature to keep them at or how hot or anything else, but you do know from your readings that eggs should stay warm. You do know that.
Well,
So-
I'm gonna make a wait. I gotta get my character sheet up. Sorry. Wait a second. I forgot I didn't have this guy up. So I'm gonna make I guess it would be investigation check. I guess that's what it would be. Whatever you want. To figure out how warm it would have been, because the eggs were like in the sand in the beach, right?
Except you didn't collect them. That's the problem. Whisper did, and so
No, I did see them.
You did see them, but I don't know that you would have determined what temperature they were. You know.
Could I make
I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it. I'm just going to say it's going to be with disadvantage. But go ahead.
I make a history check and then try to think back with my survival?
Yeah, if you want to make, I'll let you do. You can pick whichever.
Oh yeah,
history
it'd probably be a survival check actually.
Well, I mean, obviously I picked up a lot of them too, so I could do the check for that as well. I mean, I carried them myself too.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
We could both do it, Whisper. You touched them too, right?
Yep.
We'll just say one of you guys can roll with advantage. That's fine.
All right. What's your bonus to survival?
Survival, mine's good. Did he say survival's good? I got a plus 5.
Give me survival. That's fine.
Go ahead with advantage.
Get auto roll advantage, right?
There we go.
So you're pretty sure that you need to keep them between about 80 degrees and 100 degrees is what you want. That range is the optimal temperature for hatching turtle eggs. You're not really sure about dragon turtles because you've never encountered them, but for turtle egg, that's where you keep them.
This is based on the temperature that I felt when I picked them up. So.
Well, you don't know. You pick them up and you know that they were warm, but your hands can't tell you what. If you pick up something now, you wouldn't be able to tell you whether it's 80 to 100
Did I
degrees.
notice anything else, like if they were slimy, moist? Anything else interesting about the nests?
Yeah, matter of fact, you did when you pick them up. They were traditional turtle eggs are pretty damp, and these were pretty dry actually. They were kind of raised up quite a bit in these clutches, and were exposed to kind of the open air. So kind of a little different than what a traditional turtle is for sure, but definitely warm.
So I would, besides obviously communicating that directly to Alondo for temperature reasons, I would also, I don't know if the deck, I'm assuming the deck could be a little bit damp. So if it is, I would kind of ask Alondo if he could maybe help me dry it out a little bit just to help mimic their beach conditions as much as possible.
Yeah. We'll say you guys try your best to make it exactly what you saw before and with what you with what you know from your check, you're pretty comfortable that it's as close as you can get it on the boat.
Awesome. Perfect.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to make it drier. That's like a Druidcraft spell, but
Yeah.
I figured if need be, we could just fan it until, you know what I mean? So either way, we would figure that out to get it to a little drier.
Yeah, we'll
Fan it.
we'll put
You feel like you're pretty close.
we'll put dry sand around there, right? From the beach.
Yeah, next time you encounter sand, you will definitely scoop some up.
Well, we'll just have one of the crew like put some bucket when we go to a shallow area.
Yeah.
Put some buckets down.
You can do that.
Dry it out on the deck. It'll probably take a while though. Make sure it's really dry.
But yeah, you could definitely do that. Yep, you definitely could do that. Right now, you're in pretty deep water, but you absolutely will have the opportunity to do that for sure.
Yeah, I imagine.
So you guys are traveling out to sea. If you remember, Shalrog and kind of the captain from the Windseeker, Orlin, told you that the South Sea Stronghold, which is the where the Hellcats reside, was a day west and a day south of Squallhaven. So not specific directions, but Shalrog was pretty confident he could find it from that. So.
All right.
So you guys are heading out. You headed out a half a day to get to that small island with the cove that you landed in, and now you're heading out further. So about 2 hours into your trip, Whisper just rolled that. Like I said, the skis are about as calm as they possibly can get. And as you're kind of cruising along on full sails and moving as quickly as you feel comfortable with, you notice kind of off in the distance what appears to be some wreckage kind of floating in mass in one spot. So you can see that there's some broken, twisted wood. Looks like maybe some barrels kind of all collected in one spot. And there appears to be some kind of seaweed mat almost on that as well that is all collected kind of that. And it's at this point, just going to draw it. You know about how far away it is. Say it's out in this area over here.
How many are the hexagons? 5 feet? 10 feet? 10 feet?
They are, I knew you were going to ask me that, they are 10 feet for each one of those.
Does it look like netting?
From this distance, you're about 230 feet away, so you can't, 50 feet, so you can't see real well with a lot of detail.
Right.
But it looks to be, from your experience being on the water, Whisper, that it looks like maybe a natural kind of seaweed mat, kind of floating mat that you see it where, as well as looks like maybe some debris from either thrown overboard or part of a ship or something that's maybe collected into it as well.
Oh, flotsam. Does it look like it's pushing a wake, or is it just floating?
Again, you guys are full tilt moving, so it's a little tough to tell from here, but it doesn't look like there's any wake behind it. So if it's moving, it doesn't look like it's appear to be moving very fast.
All right.
He's so tiny. Look at it.
Look at your bat. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna send my bat 100 feet out just to
Get a little better luck. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can't look through it, so I'm only like. Right
I mean, just from my experience, I'll have our the first mate, keep at least a 50-foot clearance from it, so we don't get snagged or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, I didn't send that to you guys. I think I sent it to maybe Sean just generically, but there are some, if we encounter combat, I've got some stuff that I wrote up for ship combat, and one of the things you want to do is kind of assign some roles for folks. So as it stands now, I think probably Shalrag will be the one that's probably manning the helm for you guys. It would probably make the most sense. So,
Okay.
But movement-wise, when you get into combat, your ship moves 30 feet per turn or per round, unless you're doing a double move, obviously. And then you get 60. So right now you're traveling at 60 because you guys were trying to haul ass away from that island.
Yeah.
So it won't take very long to get there. But if you're going to skirt it by 50 feet, no problem.
Sorry, so when can we travel 60? I might have missed that.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I know you said our normal movement's 30, but when did you say we could travel 60?
Just like a player, your ship can also dash. It can also move a double move in an action, but it can't take any action if that happens. So
What other actions can the ship
the
have?
ram.
Like,
What's that?
I mean, just like a player, the ship's other action is just attacking, right?
Pretty much, yeah. You're not going to dodge with a ship or anything, but
So
yeah.
when it's going, if it's dash, though, it can't attack.
How
Right,
many
you can
how many-
ram with.
how many turns does it take to turn our ship completely around? 3?
Yes, right. Yep. So obviously you don't turn on a dime with a ship, so you're gonna continue in direction, kind of a thing. But so yeah, so you continue on. You move. I'm assuming you get close enough that the bat can kind of hover over the top of it. Is that kind of the thought of it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, so you move forward. We'll say you kind of get. Yeah, that's probably good. Right in here somewhere, right in there somewhere. And the bat kind of moves over the top of it and hovers over it, takes a look. It does appear to be some sort of algae and maybe kelp kind of a mat that's kind of woven together. Looks to be pretty natural. Looks like a natural spot where a lot of stuff's collected, but like Whisper said, there's a lot of flotsam that's just kind of tucked in there. A lot of broken timbers that do appear to be from maybe from a shipwreck, but they do appear to be pretty old. Even the bat can tell that. But there do appear to be some floating barrels in there and maybe a few crates, which is Whisper would know is a little odd if it's real old, that would still be the case. So.
Well, if we were to wait over here not too far away, I could make my bat into an octopus and I could send it to grab some things. Yes?
If you'd like to do that.
Sure, it will take me an hour to make it into an octopus.
Captain, do we think you have time?
I would, I guess I'm just going to send a crewman up and say, I would check it out, but be very, very careful, is my suggestion.
Well, if I had an octopus, I could, see under the water and before
I think
anyone went there, no one would be
I
in
think we
danger.
could slow down. I mean, enough for a check. If it's 1 hour, I think we could slow down for a check. Just, I would say at maximum range for your octopus and just proceed with caution.
Oh, yes, and definitely.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for any turtle dragons that
So
might be following us.
I'll start the hour-long ritual.
Okay. All right. So you plop down on the deck. I'm assuming, kind of just start the ritual. Shalron kind of slows the boat. Obviously, makes it a turn, turns it, makes a big circle, and kind of ends up in the same spot there after a few minutes.
I would, yeah. Is there anything else in visible range on the water?
You mean as far as land masses or anything else, or what?
Like on top of the water besides this?
Yeah. You look around from the deck. You don't see anything. You call up to the crow's nest. I'm assuming to the
Yeah.
crew that's up there, and he relays down. Nothing to report, Captain.
Okay.
So yeah, so you guys hang out. I'm assuming you drop sails, obviously, so you kind of stay in a little bit of place because you're not going to anchor here. I mean, unless you are, it's up to you guys. You can.
No, that would take too long, I think.
It might be a clipper. No, I want octopus.
What?
I think I want because the octopus can carry stuff. There's a couple different animals you can get. Can breathe only underwater. I wonder why these guys don't have underwater vision. That doesn't make sense. But hey, whatever. That's an octopus.
Octopus.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay, so yeah, an hour passes pretty uneventfully. Nothing really changes. You see some sea life. You do see some birds off in the distance, kind of circling, which you're assuming probably is a pod of 8 fish periodically. You actually see a whale breach. Take some of that. So just kind of normal sea life activity. Eventually, Alundo comes back to the Land of the Living? It says he has an octopus.
Oh, yes. And in fact, you see it just kind of skirtling along the deck. You kind of see it like it all kind of flat, like it almost doesn't have anything in its body as it scurries and goes up over to the side. It can actually.
Pops in the water.
Oh, there it goes. Let me look through its eyes. And I'll start looking through its eyes.
Okay. So you swim over there. It takes you a little bit, obviously, to get there from here. Not too bad, but get over there. And, yeah, you get underneath the mat. And you notice it's pretty dense. And there's a lot of vegetation in here. You can see some very long tendrils of kelp that are hanging down. The water's pretty deep here. You'd guess it's probably about 150 feet deep. And the kelp actually hangs down probably halfway there. So it makes almost like a kelp forest down there. And there, as the octopus heads down, he actually has to dodge a bit. There are some pretty large fish that have kind of used that mat as kind of a makeshift home there that are kind of swimming in and out, picking up smaller fish as they move through. But he's able to kind of get out of the way and get there. What would you like to do from there?
Well, he's gonna go stealth, so he gets advantage on stealth when he's underwater, and then he gets +4.
Okay.
So I'll just roll that in the tower for you.
Sure.
Just in case there's, things that eat octopuses or whatever, sharks.
Could be.
Or anything else.
He thinks he's pretty well hidden.
Right? Oh, by the way, he gets advantage on it too. So I'll roll it again in a minute.
Okay.
That's his stats. That's a special thing he gets. Underwater camouflage.
I believe.
So and it's just gonna go under like maybe about I don't know. He's gonna keep going down as long as he has cover. He'll just keep going down and check it out, see if there's any dead bodies or whatever I can see actually.
Really shiny.
Okay, so he searches through. There's a lot as you kind of get to the bottom. There's actually quite a bit of ship debris here. He comes across a lot of deck planks. He comes across some components of looks like railing maybe that's tucked in here. There's a few portholes that are there, and then he comes across one that. Why don't you have it roll a perception check, Rob?
Sure. Let's see. His perception is +2 and his wisdom is 10. So that means he's proficient in perception. Funny. There you
Cool. Yeah, so he picks up on a piece of looks like the side of the ship, looks like a portion of the hull that has some very strange kind of holes in it. They seem to be very circular, almost perfect circles, and they seem to be aligned inside a sort of a pattern. But when it kind of looks at this piece of wood, it can see that it looks like they're almost like a puncture through the side of it. But it's in a pattern shape, and it's almost like a large diamond kind of a shape. It's got a round bottom to it, and it points to the top, and there are circular holes that seem to be set in a pattern.
I think we found Mother Turtle. This is bad.
Jump!
Can I have the octopus?
It looks like a beak.
Yes, I think I see some puncture
So wait,
marks.
Alondo tells us that, and you tell us you see puncture holes that
Yes,
look like
I believe they're teeth. I'm assuming they're teeth. I could think about it, but I'm pretty sure. I don't know.
you don't see any signs of the actual turtle, right?
Well, of course not. I mean, the turtles could be very deep in the water, and, well, if the wreckage is here, we're in turtle waters, and, well, you have an egg.
I would guess that we leave this direction immediately.
I would too, definitely. Let's see if my octopus can get a, something, yes.
I'll call out for full sail.
I don't know. Alondo, I don't know if you're communicating.
You hear a whisper yell out, "Full sail!
Full sail! Full sail!"
Alright, I'm gonna have my octopus freaking maybe grab a. Is there any chests that are floating or?
You don't see any chests. There is a kind of an odd shaped crate. You know, typical crates have some gaps in between the slats that are there. This is kind of a sealed crate almost. That doesn't look like what you'd see, you know, doesn't look like traditional cargo kind of stuff that you'd see on a boat. So, and it's pretty small. It's probably only maybe 2 foot by 2 foot by 1.5 foot tall. So it can definitely wrap that up and could probably.
Okay.
I would tell Londo,
it's gonna do that.
I would tell Londo that we could we'll circle around to get his octopus back.
Oh no, it'll catch up. It's pretty fast underwater. It actually moves at.
Londo,
I would say 40.
That's not what I'm talking about. I don't want it to come right directly back to the ship, so I want to go around to the opposite side in case anything comes to life or moves or there's any sign of the turtle down there. So we'll have him, since he can catch us so easy, we'll circle around the far way and have the octopus bring it back to us over there. That way we know if anything starts trying to eat him or kill him.
Okay, so you're going to kind of make a loop, looking at the map here, make a loop clockwise around it. Is that what you're thinking? In a wide arc?
As far around as we can, with him still be able to communicate, and that way we can see if the octopus finds anything coming after it or anything happens before it's coming towards our ship and leading anything to us.
All right, so we'll just say, you know, you take kind of a, 100-foot radius, kind of circle around it, kind of like this, around the thing. And as you do that, you kind of, the octopus catches up to you, no problem, and kind of begins to pull aboard the chest. And as the octopus starts to bring it out of the water, it's quite a bit heavier than it was in the water, and it's starting to struggle. What's the octopus's strength?
It's like 4.
Okay, yeah, so it's able to bring it to the top of the water, but it's not able to bring it in, so it's going to need some assistance to get there.
I use Mage Hand to pick it up. Unless it's
how much can Mage
Hand
lift?
10 pounds.
It can't lift it.
Oh shit! That's heavy.
Toss a net down there and catch it in the net and bring it up.
You've got all the time in the world, so we'll say it takes you a couple tries between you and the crew, but you're able to net it and get it up. And it actually takes 2 of you.
The octopus helps, so puts it in the right spot.
You get it up on deck, and it's pretty heavy. And set it in place.
Don't touch it. It could be trapped. Let me cast Detect Magic. I'll cast Detect Magic on it.
You cast Detect Magic, and you don't get any glowing. No glowing.
Are there any words on it?
You take a look at it, and there is some stuff that's very faded on the top of it. What are the chances? What would you use? Investigation, maybe, to decipher it, maybe?
Well, no, I'll do that real quick. I'll cast Comprehend Languages.
There you go. Okay.
But I do have to touch it, so.
You're not. Does Comprehend Languages let you decipher partially visible stuff, or let me see?
No, it has to be language incomplete. It just lets me speak any language. So.
Okay, so that may come in handy, but right as you look at it, it's really faded. That's more the difficulty there. It's not whether you can read it or not. So
gotcha.
That's plenty. So you take a look at it. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. That would be perfect. Yeah. But you, so Whisper. So you take a look at it, and from your kind of knowledge of things that you've seen around, it seems to be labeled personal effects. Is what it seems.
I'm gonna check for magical traps. My passive magical traps is 18, which is fucking insane. But I'm going to check anyways. And like traps would mask it with Detect Magic most likely. I mean, they would mask Detect Magic so you couldn't, see it, because otherwise it'd be too easy to find. Oh wow, I suck.
While they're looking at the crate, I would just kind of instruct Shalrag to change our course so we're not going directly towards the island between where this. For example, if we ran into this in time between the island where we were and where we're going, so I would tell him I wanted him to take more of a roundabout approach, even if it takes a few extra hours, just so we're not like in a dead line between the two, and just tell him to get back at sea and full steam ahead, but just don't go direct in line with between the two.
Okay. Yep. So he takes kind of a meandering path in a general direction that you guys are trying to head ultimately, and heads out. You having him go full steam, max movement, or just normal movement, or what are you thinking? Is just
Well, I mean that's based on turn, right? And there's no.
yeah,
I mean,
really, you're not in combat, so it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to figure out, are you guys at full sails, so it's a little more difficult to stop, or are you kind of going at your normal max pace kind of thing?
I would have them at full sails, but again, just not going necessarily direct. We want to kind of get off the course a little bit, then go towards it.
Okay, that's fine. Sounds
Can I,
good.
can I make another investigation check to see how we can open this thing?
Oh,
Sure.
Check
Yep.
for traps.
Yeah, you don't detect any magical traps.
Okay.
Dylan.
All right.
Well, no, check for mechanical. I can do magic, but mechanics.
Well, we can do that with investigation too, right?
Yeah, you can. You're especially good at it because you
There
are
we go.
the thief.
You don't think it's trapped?
All right. Do I have an idea of how to open it?
There is a pretty intricate locking mechanism on it. It's not a traditional just keyed lock. It looks like, from what you can tell, you've seen one of these before, but it's a pretty expensive lock. It's got almost like a deadbolt system, so when you lock the mechanism, it actually drives some like a seal almost into the top of it that then compresses it to keep it watertight, which is not typical crate.
Was it
Style.
ceramic or is it made out of wood or metal?
It appears to be some sort of treated wood that looks like it's got some sort of coating on it that prevents it, we're assuming, from being taken on water.
Yeah. So we don't really want to damage it because we could probably use it quite a bit.
You would think that this crate is probably pretty pricey.
Can you open it? Does anyone have the skills here to open such box?
Yeah. Let me try. Here's thieves' tools roll.
That is good enough, believe it or not.
You should have at least +8 to that. Did you double your proficiency on that?
No.
He's got a +6, but yeah, she should.
Unless
be
you
higher than
didn't
that.
pick it. Unless you totally didn't pick thief tools.
No, I didn't.
Okay, never mind.
I got proficient in lots of other things.
I mean, you
Yeah,
got
yeah.
double proficiency. No, double proficiency. You know about that,
Yeah,
right?
but already I'm focusing on insight, investigation, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
I lived on the water. I don't pick locks.
right. You spent a little time on it. Like I said, you've seen these before. You haven't done a whole lot of work on it. It takes you quite a bit of time, but you do get it to actually unlatch, and you can hear the locks around the perimeter kind of let loose, and the lid pops about 1/8 of an inch all the way around it as you do so.
Do we hear anything moving inside?
You listen in. You can roll if you want the tower.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's not that big a deal. You don't hear anything.
Okay.
Would you like to lift the lid? With
Wait,
faith.
maybe you should stand back. I can do it with the. Wait, wait, maybe this character doesn't have mage hand. I'm sorry. Let me see. No, I don't. I don't.
With my own hand. I'm a mage.
That's my other character. So
We'll
my bad.
use a gaff hook.
Okay, yeah, no problem. You lift the lid. As you do so, you see that the contents in here seem to be extremely well packed. With the inside of it is actually made out of looks to be maybe a crushed velvet on the inside of this chest, which seems to be in perfect condition. Zero water has gotten into it. And when you look into the interior, you see that there are multiple instruments of some sort that seem to be encased in glass. You see some they're all inset in this wood frame that's in place that are specifically cut out for each one of these pieces that's in that. And everything in there looks as if it was brand new. That's all set in that.
So these are jewelry in there?
What's that?
What's inside the little?
Not jewelry. There look to be some sort of tools, some sort of implements of things. You could roll for it. Owen would know right off the bat. If
they're-
he's standing these are all ship's tools for navigation ultimately. So you've got a sextant that's in here. You've got what appears to be some sort of a you guys have never seen one before, but it seems to rotate in there. It's a compass ultimately that's set up in there. You've got there's also looks to be some sort of a it's a device he's never seen before, but Shalrog wanders over, and because there's starting to be a little bit of a crowd that forms now that you guys are looking in this chest, and he says this is used specifically on the coast of Faerun here. You hold it up to the stars in this location, and you can always find your way home once it's set. So it's almost like a returning navigation
You ever
device.
see these on the rafts?
You have never seen these before. No, this is not. This is definitely not any sort of navigating tools. And Shalrog says, only the finest ships be carrying these. This chest alone, the tools, is thousands of gold worth of
Are
equipment.
there any engravings on any of the glass keys or anything?
Yes, matter of fact. When you go on and look in there, you actually see. Let me tell you exactly. 1 second. It says.
It's a good gift for the Harpy there, Strider.
Good gift for the Harpy. Yeah, that is an amazing find for the ship. We could not have been luckier to accidentally come across wonderful navigating things such as this.
That's what happens when you roll a 98 out of 100 right there. Just so you know.
That's awesome.
It was one of the things that I thought you were going to come across, but not now. That's pretty funny. Yes, but it's engraved. You actually, as you start to lift things out, you actually find some charts as well in the bottom as you lift these components out, and written on the bottom of in the bottom of the actual case itself is an inscription that says, where the hell is the name? Hold on 1 second.
I always hate that. It happens to me all the time.
Damn it. Driving me crazy.
Yeah, it drives me crazy too. It's like an important name too, and it's like
One that you need.
you didn't realize that they were gonna see that then.
Yeah.
Is that Amy in the background?
I don't. It's not me.
That's Amy. If you guys met Amy, my wife, before, this is
Yeah.
going.
Have I met Amy before? I have never met Amy. No.
Well, so,
I know.
Amy's all dressed up because she had an interview to be on a game
Makeup.
show.
And makeup
Whoa.
on.
Shit.
Which one?
Are you gonna be Vanna White?
You tell him.
Nah,
She's already
I
been
already-
on that show.
Ah, that's an old hat. I already did that. It's Beach Sam. I got a
Oh,
call from
Lord.
a casting director.
I've never heard of it either, so.
It's on Fox. Jamie Foxx is the host.
Oh, that's with his daughter, right? She's
Yeah, you gotta,
DJ
like-
or something.
Yeah, you gotta like name this. It's like name that tune.
Yeah.
Multiple choice in the beginning, and then in the later rounds, you've got to like say the exact title. But I got a friend. She's like a human jukebox, and it's a partner show. So I feel like we're like dead ringers. Like I'm gonna win $1 million, guys.
So what was the last interview? Yeah, so they
We're coming to
obviously
visit.
because she went for this interview at 5 o'clock, and the lady made her do 3 additional producer interviews, like in the past 4 hours. She's been there since
We
5.
just we just take pictures together and send
God.
them to us, and then we have
Oh,
a
they're doing television tests for you, huh?
like what producer wouldn't want me on their game show, right? Like it's like we're a shoe in here.
That's absolute insanity.
That'll be
I know
awesome.
she's gonna be mad I didn't ask her to be my partner, but I had to go with a ringer. I couldn't.
Yeah, she doesn't know shit about songs, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I needed someone that could carry me.
Yeah, not her. That's for sure.
You could like match.
Cool.
All right, I gotta go find food to eat.
I had a little bit.
Make me something.
All right, what do you want? It's nacho. I think it's nacho.
Whiskey on the rocks.
Nachos.
Neat.
We got a Heineken.
Nice. Is it a
Yes.
pony? Did you take somebody else out?
I just won 142,000 pot. Yeah.
Nice.
No, I'm playing.
Oh.
Cash, yeah. Cash game.
Cash.
Cash
Bitcoin, so it's worth like 12 cents.
money.
Bitcoins are worth like $1,800 each, so it's worth lots if it was Bitcoins.
Well,
Not
unless
as much
you're,
as it
unless
was
you're
worth.
hacked.
But what'd you say?
Unless you're
As
hacked.
much-
Yeah.
Yeah, not as much as it was worth.
Ben, you would know.
Not me. Kim would know.
I have like 0.002 Bitcoins.
It's great.
Bitcoin.
It's like having D&D gold. I'm rich. Oh, wait, I'm not. I'm rich.
Okay.
The lead
Finally.
came back.
Found it. Sorry. It says on the bottom, to my son, Kraylin, may thee never get lost. May you never get lost and always find your way home.
So,
Maps.
assuming that name doesn't ring a bell between us, I would ask Shalrag if he's heard of any other captains with that name.
You know what? Not likely, but we'll roll it. We'll just see.
I'm gonna check too,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, check a history or something for noble names or something.
If I'm allowed to check, I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Come on, no whammies, no whammies. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be rolling
You-
at least 21.
You do not. You've not heard of such captain.
And no luck with Zalrak.
You do know of a Kraylin. You do know of a Kraylin that from centuries and centuries ago that was a hero of the Goblin Wars that fought for the Waterdeep area, not in Waterdeep proper, but was there to help defend some of the outer defenses. But you're pretty sure that, and that was hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So you're pretty sure it's not a captain.
So that would potentially, could that be connected to the Thon military family in Waterdeep? I mean, are we talking similar timeline?
Yes, it would actually be similar timeline. Yes.
Well, this is nothing glows magical, right?
Nothing glows magical. Nope.
Okay.
The charts are very helpful, though. Just so you know, they do map out some of the land masses, kind of up and down this area of the coast,
Are they
which
dated?
Colorado is very interested in. That'll help with his navigation a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. Are they dated? I mean, can we gather how old these things are?
Doesn't look to be all that old. They look to be pretty current, actually. So,
Okay.
Shalrog says, from what I can tell here, he kind of points at some of the land masses that are right outside of Squallhaven that he knows of. These look to be pretty current. It seems to be a pretty up to date map.
All right. Does he? So there may be some isles or places in the general direction that we were headed that may be the headquarters then, or the hideaway.
Yeah, it's you don't see anything that's labeled South Sea Stronghold on this map, which is the name that they kind of were talking about. But let me go over this other one again real quick just to show you guys. But kind of, oops. Kind of this area. I'll just draw a box around it right this second real quick. This area right here is really well mapped. There, and then also there's some mapping that appears to be kind of along the coast here. It looks like it was mapped really well too.
Can we see in correlation from where we're at, or is that circle us?
Where that says Squallhaven in that circle, that's where you guys have left out of. Sorry, that map actually goes, the map goes further. It actually goes up into kind of like this area too.
Where are we at currently?
You are, see where that, I'll draw you a different color line.
Where the line is, I can see it.
That red line that kind of points on an angle like that, that was the direction you guys were at. You guys are about, right here where that yellow dot is, right this.
All right.
We're taking a wide berth of the direct route, right?
Yes, yeah. Ultimately, from now that you have kind of a map that generally gives you an area there, you're going to guess that probably where you guys are headed is probably like right in this general vicinity somewhere. As far as 1 day out of 1 day.
So, is there anything else in there as far as like a captain's log? Any other like type of captain's log paperwork? Anything else in with that?
Nope. You've got some charts that kind of map the coastline there, and then those looks like that grouping of islands right there, those big islands, and then the instruments for navigation.
Right. I'm gonna change my familiar to a bat.
Okay, gonna go back to the ritual then. Do the same thing.
Yeah, when we're traveling. So.
Okay. All right, cool. So anything else you guys want to do before we move along?
No, just make sure that the crew takes good care of the instruments, and I guess we'll put them in under Strider and Shalrag's usage.
I'm gonna
Okay.
spend time copying
The map.
the maps, yeah. So we have backup copies.
Okay.
Good idea.
Sounds good. So you take the crate. I'm assuming probably is as intact as you can, or and pack it away kind of in the captain's quarters, which happens to be the most secure spot that's there. So.
One other thing. Could I make a roll to see if I can check, as I'm looking over the charts, if there are any hidden messages?
Sure. You can do an investigation check. You can do it in the tower.
Ah, damn it! Do it again.
You want to do it?
Do you have a feat?
Yes.
What's the feat called?
Well, observation, but I'm using my one of my eye for detail.
Oh, okay.
Do I just hit the modifier and then roll it?
Yep. Just type whatever your modifier would be.
Okay.
You're pretty positive that there are no hidden messages on the maps.
Okay.
They seem to be standard maps, although pretty well made. It doesn't, from the maps that you've seen over time, this one looks like there probably was a professional cartographer that did this, not just a random person on ship jotting things down as you.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So you guys progress. Night falls. Whisper put his armband on, obviously. And you guys eventually make it to sleep, I'm assuming.
Before I go to sleep, I go back to the eggs. And,
Fondle the link. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I would obviously check on their conditions, everything like that, and I would,
Yep.
sit back down with them, spend lots of time and I would give them images of myself with, besides with them in the good calm environment, but like handling other animals and them being happy, kind of like a mother-like figure
Okay.
to other animals, and like, you know, just me in nature in the woods.
Okay.
And
Sounds-
if I get any, you want to wait till tomorrow to see if I get anything else from them?
Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll roll again in the morning.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. What spell are you using?
I was trying to look up the name of it. That one where I could put images into their mind and you feel emotions. I think it was like a level 3 ranger spell. I have to look up the name of it
Well,
again.
level 3.
Yeah, I can't. Luckily, since they're babies, like in the egg, they have a low enough intelligence that I can project images or something. I think that if it has intelligence below 4 or something like that.
What kind of ranger are
You
you?
were definitely able to detect some surface, maybe not thoughts, but emotion is what he's getting. So
What kind of ranger did you pick?
The Gloomstalker. It wasn't like I can pull back the abilities. It was the Gloomstalker.
No, that's okay. No, I just wondered.
You picked it with me the other week, remember?
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure what you ended. If you know read about it and decided to do something.
I did, and I like it. I definitely think it was the right choice.
It's pretty sick. You basically you get invisibility after a while. It's nuts. So anyway.
Yeah, like it actually seems like reading that spell more in the off week, like I can pretty much control when they see me, like enemies, because I can like make myself be seen. Because anybody that relies on night vision to see can't see me, right? So if they rely on night vision to see,
In complete darkness, though, you got to be in complete dark.
in complete darkness, yeah. So I know that might not come into play much out here, but just in general, that sounds like a great ability.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be really.
you get underground, especially, it's going to be huge. So, okay, cool. You guys go to sleep. We'll say, and at about 2 a.m., you guys hear in your heads, each one of you, you hear, "Avenge me!" And it wakes you from your slumber. You guys look around. You look around, and you're not sure if it's actually was a dream that you had or if it actually had happened. But you don't actually see anything. Let me see. What's everybody's perception?
By the way,
Let's go talk to Shalrag about that.
Whisper,
I
you. I'm
I don't
sorry.
think it matters for this part, but just on the record, I sleep with the egg, not in my quarters.
Someone's
Sure.
got a girlfriend.
That works. It's still, you still hear it. Just so you know.
I know it doesn't even affect this part, but I kind of spoon them, keeping them all nice and warm.
Good. That's great. Yep. You tuck them into all your
Oh
ears.
yeah, we make sure we have a piece of flag on each egg too.
Yeah, true, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you do put pieces of flag on each one of the eggs, you notice that there are no more that are available. Just so you know.
Well, it's just laying on there. We'll just use it.
Just letting you know. If you take 6 additional out besides the one you gave to Whisper and lay them out there, there are no more. Just so you know. So,
Okay, I would definitely agree with that, though. Let's lay them on the egg.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So Whisper, actually, you hear sounds like up a level, up on a deck above. You hear what sounds like scratching that's occurring that you didn't notice before when you fell asleep.
I'll stealth my way up there.
Okay.
You want it in the tower?
You don't need to. That's fine. Everybody else is asleep. You guys bolt up right in your quarters and look around, and you notice that the rest, everybody else is awake as well. But yeah, you slip out quietly, and nobody notices. You head upstairs, and the scratching grows louder. You make your way to the kind of the meeting room conference area where you guys have all met, kind of the officers' court area, and notice in one of the cabinets that the scratching is getting louder.
One of the cabinets?
Yeah, you've got there's some materials that are set up in there, some books and some other kind of just general logs of the ship that's there, some supplies and stuff. And I guess we could go over to that map too, so I don't have to just explain it the whole time here. Where did I? There it is.
I guess I just snuck away.
Yeah, you just kind of you saw a Whisper there. You were looking around all over the place, Alindo, and the next thing you noticed, he just wasn't in there anymore. Win some money.
Hell yeah, I did. So, remember that first place, man? Now I'm in this. At least I'm
Really?
I'm not gonna say anything now, but I'm in second in chips.
Nice.
So which level are we? Did I go up?
So you're actually up to the. You actually thought it was one level above. It was 2 levels above, actually.
Right.
And right here inside this bookcase area, cabinet, you notice that you hear the scratching is quite a bit louder. It seems to be inside of the cabinet that's there.
Just to make sure we all went back to sleep and Whisper's doing this on his own, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. I don't know if you guys went to sleep, but he vanished. You're not sure where he went. You guys look around. You wouldn't have known this anyway, Strider, because you're in another room spooning eggs.
Well, I'll go down and
I just dropped your token there, by the way.
yeah,
But
thanks.
this bookcase right here is where it's coming from.
Can I? I'll try to pinpoint where it is, but I don't really know if I want to touch any cursed items or not.
Okay. Yeah, the cabinets are shut here, and you hear it just sounds like scratching. Can't do scratching on here, and you guys hear it. That kind of scratch.
I don't know enough about what happens on the ship at night to know if this is normal or new. I'm gonna go grab Orlando and see
Okay.
if this is a new event, a new symptom.
What? They're coming! They're all coming!
Follow me.
What are you? Let me get my glasses. You see my glasses down there? Right up there. Come to me, will you?
Let's get Strider. I know where this scratching's coming.
No, I need my glasses. Just, could you hand me the glasses? I can't really see them. What is it you want? It's late.
You heard it in your head, right?
What? I can't even hear. It's too early for this.
But you heard the voice in your head. There's
Yeah.
scratching
You
downstairs.
said voice.
Yes.
Yeah, there's voices. Yeah.
I'm getting right down in his face.
There's something scratching upstairs in the bookshelf.
Oh, yeah, there's toilet. You just be on the side of the boat.
Just follow me. Come on.
Give me my glasses over
I'll get his glasses.
there. Okay. Oh, thank you. I put them on. Oh, I can always hear better when I can see. I get up in my nightgown. I have a nightcap on. It's like a
Yes.
it's like a baby blue nightgown.
Do we know where Strider is so I can wake him up too?
I'm sure you do. He probably told you guys he was sleeping with the eggs.
Okay. We'll go grab him and
Come with us.
I grab my spell focus, which is actually it's on me all the time.
I need more
I-
information from you.
Yeah, Olinda, you get out of your hammock, and you notice Aish is he's wide-eyed and looking across at you as he sees you get up in the middle of the night.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be right back.
You notice he's looking around, but it doesn't seem to be focusing on you at all. So
Yeah.
he's wide-eyed, but he's not focused.
And he can't see you, right?
Right.
Aish, can you hear the voice in your head?
What do you see? Wait a minute. What do you see?
He's there.
I obviously just locked up very well. Once he wakes me up, I make
I'll be right back.
sure.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
All right. He cowers down in his hammock as much as possible and kind of hides under the blanket as much as he can.
Okay. Here, I leave him with my familiar.
Okay. All right, so you guys all head up to the conference room. I'm gonna figure out what you guys want to call that. The officers' quarters, whatever you want to call it. But it's kind of where their conference room is, where you guys seem to have your meetings when things are
Yep.
together. But you walk in there, and yes, this cabinet right here, you're not invisible anymore. We probably can take that effect off. You hear scratching coming from inside them.
Is this normal or is this new?
New to me. But I'm not gonna be the first one going over there. So it's just the three of us in the room. We hear scratching. I just want to make sure I got the scene right? It's everyone.
Did you guys wake up Owen too, or not?
Yeah, we'll wake up on. No, actually, he doesn't like this kind of stuff, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So-
say, it's best we don't wake him. He probably won't like this.
He, as you were getting out of your hammock, actually, he said,
I'm gonna use the IFC invisibility. How long does that last, by the way? Oh, 1 hour? Cool.
yeah,
I'd say I'd actually get Shalrag though once I saw what was going on,
okay.
and I
Yeah,
asked,
Owen says, as Olundo kind of gets out of his hammock, he says, "You gonna be all right up there? Or can I stay here?"
Oh, Owen says that?
Because he wouldn't probably worry about the rest of you, but he might worry about the old man.
Oh, yeah, I'll be alright. Thank you.
All right. If you need me, yell loud.
Oh, well, yes, my bat will come get you.
All right. So you use the eye. Yep. So you hold it up to your forehead.
What do we get this once a day? Was it? I didn't write
Correct.
that down for some reason. Okay.
Yep. Once per day. Yep.
Wait, maybe I did. I just don't know where I wrote it.
I've got the details.
Cool.
So I got Shalrag though right before that was going on, and I asked him if I brought him into actually the doorway, and I asked him if you've ever seen this before, if he's familiar with it.
This is I've not common that I've seen.
So yeah, then I'd let Alondo obviously do his thing. Well, I stand back in the doorway behind everybody supervising.
Okay. So you use the eye then?
Yeah. I'm gonna use
Okay.
the eye first, and then see if I see anything invisible.
Yeah, that's fine. So you use the eye, and you don't see anything invisible.
Does this look like a cupboard, like a bookcase cupboard? Like, could you describe this thing to me?
Yeah. So go ahead.
Ethero, I can see into the ethereal plane too. Do I see anything weird here? So that means I could
Oh.
see ghosts and such.
You could. You could see ghosts.
If
And
it
actually,
works as the same as see invisibility, so.
Yep. So as you kind of look at the bookcase area, you don't see any ghosts. But as you kind of halfway, you get ready to take the eye down because you don't see anything. You kind of pan the ship. You actually see that there are multiple specters that are just wandering across the deck
Sweet.
in multiple areas throughout the ship.
Okay.
So is that the first time you've seen the ghosts in the ship?
No, yeah, it's just ghosts first. There's ghosts all over the ship, and, no, it's not the first time, is it, Strider?
And I tell Whisper, we're known to take control of you and have you walk the plank if you don't have your patch on.
Gotcha.
Yes,
Are the ghosts walking towards the scratching or ignoring it?
They appear to be wandering aimlessly around the ship, no destination, it appears. They seem to walk to an area, look as if they're maybe going to do something, and then abruptly turn around and wander in another.
Can we pinpoint where the scratching's coming from the bookcase?
Yeah, it sounds like it's about midway down in the center area there.
Okay. Are any of the books moving?
The doors are shut. on this cabinet, so you can't really see into there as to what's going on. But
That's what I was asking. So it's a solid wood cabinet with 2
oh,
doors.
sorry, yeah, it's kind of mid height. You know that's kind of where Shalrog pulled out some of the materials you guys had before. So everything from cups and glasses that you guys have used for drinking to some of the other random things that he'll put out, plates and that kind of materials are also there. You also remember that he pulled out the box that had the offering to the ghosts and everything was in that same cabinet as well. So.
All right. I wake up the first. I actually get the what's his name, by our old prisoner that's helping out. My notes are gone.
Which one?
Well, there was the big guy and the little guy from town.
Tickles, Mr. Tickles.
Yeah.
Right?
Rickles, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Wrinkle, and what was the other guy's name? I had to rewrite that down.
I have it. Hold on a second. Hold on, I can look back at my notes.
Whatever the hell his name is, I go, hey, you, come here for a minute. And I wake him up. And I go, this is where you're going to prove your usefulness aboard this ship. Go up there and open up that bookcase.
Oh my god, you're awful.
You say this to Rickles or you say it to the other guy?
I say it to the other guy.
Okay.
I probably, if you went downstairs, I probably already started opening it.
Yeah, I was just gonna use my whip.
Yeah, we probably already started opening it.
I mean, if that's happening while I'm getting them, go ahead. Just play it out how it would play out.
Yeah.
Okay. You see Strider walk out.
Unless you tell us otherwise.
I would have probably say, I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some help. That's, I mean, I don't know if I'd be more specific than that. I'd just say something like,
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, then we open it. I would.
Yeah, nobody listens to me, so I just whip it, pull it open.
Yeah.
And you see that the box that had the offerings to the ghost that you used for the ceremony is actually slightly shifting around inside there, and it appears that the scratching is definitely coming from inside the box.
What was the offering for the ghost for? What was that for?
It was the stuff that you used for the ceremony to summon them to talk to them. So remember that there was a tankard of ale that was in there. There was a parchment that was in there. There was a dagger that was in there. There was other personal effects that were in there that kind of all got laid out on the table.
Okay, I used the eye to see if I can see anything around the box.
Okay. Pull the eye up again, and you don't see anything invisible. You don't see anything. You do see a ghost walk kind of in the hallway outside, in between, walks directly into the cabin's quarters, turns around, and walks back down the hallway again. But you don't see anything right around the box.
I guess I get back kind of right at this point.
Should we put the box on the table?
And right as I was about to say to him, to make yourself useful, I changed it kind of mid-sentence. I say, to make yourself useful, just stand in front of me and await further instructions.
Okay. Do you want him to open that box or take it out on the table, or what do you want to do? It's sitting on the shelf in there in a second.
Right now, I'm just waiting to kind of see what Alondo and
Okay.
here, because Alondo just looked. I wasn't there, I just got back to the room, and I kind of see that they already opened it.
Sure.
I probably came up with my walking staff to lean on, so I'm gonna use that to open it.
So do you pull it out of the cabinet and set it on the table, or just right where it's at, or?
Right where it's at.
Okay. So you crack open the lid to the box, and as you do, the dagger immediately flies out and flies across directly in front of you and misses your head by about 6 inches and sticks, boom, in the actual wall of the ship, standing there, and it's quivering, just staying in one direction, just quivering right in place.
Yes, this dagger points the direction of the man we need to find to avenge the ghost.
I looked at Alondo like he totally is just saying random words and has no idea like what he's talking about.
Oh no,
Which-
we talked to the ghost, and that's what it did. The ghost, they told us to free them. We need to avenge this fella. What was his name again? I can't quite recall.
And they told you this dagger was going to point to his location?
Yes, it would always point to his location.
Which
I
direction was it
remember his
pointing?
name was Captain Nade McCall was his name.
Nade McCall. Oh, I got it. Fine. Nade McCall. Okay. For the
And
ghost.
I look at the direction, obviously, the dagger after I hear Orlando saying that. I hear Whisper, obviously, whispering.
Yep.
And I look to Zalrag and I say, well, whose quarters, where is this pointing to, Zalrag? You pointing to someone's quarters, or what's in that direction?
This is the outside of the ship. It's actually landed kind of right here where the circle is, where it sticks in the wall. It zoomed right by Helundo's head and stuck right here. And the dagger is still quivering. You know by now that it absolutely should have stopped moving. If from normal movement, it is still quivering in place where it's at right now. You see.
So, I mean, I would just suggest that go on deck and kind of record and look on the map. Let's kind of look on. Actually, let's just get the map out first and look what's in that direction on the map with the daggers pointing.
Sure. So,
I would leave.
Shalrog runs to
to
your quarters, grabs the area map, and kind of based on your direction, it appears to be pointing. I'll draw you yet another arrow for this lovely map. Blue. We're going to say you guys are about right here now, and it seems to be pointing in this direction.
I see the ships. Are you have the map up?
I haven't put it there. I haven't put you guys on it yet. Hold on, sorry.
It's all about the maps, yo.
It's all about the pen.
There you go. You got that now?
Yep.
We do.
So it's taking us in the opposite direction we're going.
Yeah, it looks from where you guys are, as you guys are heading, it's heading basically to the south and a little bit to the west.
So, I mean, I would kind of just suggest to Orlando, Shalrag, and Whisper that we
Bendigo.
note the coordinates, knowing that we have more pending matters to take care of first.
Yes, otherwise our heads might go poof.
Yeah, that's a high priority for me as well.
Yes.
Not going poof. And I pat the old man on his shoulder.
No poof. Yes.
So taking out the Hellcats before going after avenging the crew.
I kind of explained to Whisper, that from what I'm being told, we may only have a matter of days left until the collars blow our heads off. Yeah, the collars. I point at our neck, and then I just kind of describe without words, and I show him like.
Yeah. By some rough estimates, you think you probably have about 5 days before something's gonna happen.
So that's why we're going to the yellow square first.
That is, yes, that's what our goal is, and Orlando, would you agree?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think we need to get there. I sort of like my head.
Should we put the knife back in the box?
Yes, definitely. But if we travel in the area, we're going to want to take it with us, and maybe we should check it once in a while just in case this fellow, I think he used to be a captain or something, travels.
I would just proceed with caution. Obviously, we know that the knife has some magical powers controlling it as well.
I wonder if we could suspend it on a rope.
Like a compass, we could maybe put it in a bowl of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. I would suggest that I would tell what's his name, Wrinkle's little brother guy to maybe get like a bowl to try that out with and see how it works. I would suggest he does that. tell him to pull the knife out, tell him
Okay.
to suspend it in a liquid in the middle of a bowl with something like a, I don't know, a straw or stick, tethering it to the middle so it could pivot. You get the idea of what I'm saying, like the compass.
Yeah, he has no idea what you're talking about, but he says, "All right, if it's going to show my loyalty, I'll do it." And he walks over and grabs the knife from the side of the ship and puts one hand on, tries to pull it out, puts two hands on, and pulls it out. And you can tell it's got some pull back towards where it wants to go, and he's able to muscle it kind of back towards the center of the room. This is what do you want me to do with it now?
And it has active force, like he has to keep pulling it in the air to hold it, or is it
He's
still pulling?
Now that he's got it out, he's able to hold it with one hand, but it's definitely like pulling him in that direction.
Does it have any holes or anything in it? The knife, the handle of the knife?
In the side of the boat, you mean?
No, didn't like the handle or anything.
Oh, it's a traditional dagger, so it's got a cross hilt on it that's there. There's really no loop or anything in it. It's just kind of got it's a really basic wooden dagger. Got a wooden handle on it. Looks like a full tang knife though. So, but it's a common everyday kind of.
Tell him to get a little piece of rope, to get a piece of string, twine, rope, whatever we have available to shift, tie it to it, and stake it to the middle of the table.
Okay. Yeah. You're able to get some packing rope, twine, kind of that you'd use to secure some probably some of the clothing items and stuff that you have. You're able to kind of tie it around that. And what do you stake it in the middle of the table with?
I would just kind of look at Whisper, look around. Anybody have a knife or something we could, take this to the table with?
Yeah, Shalrog pulls out his boot knife. It's a smaller, it's not a dagger. It's just a boot knife, and he just slams it in the middle of the table for you.
And I assume the knife just kind of keeps levitate. Is it just levitating, pointing in that direction now?
Yeah, so you wrap the twine around it, and I'm assuming you tell Mr. No Name until I can find it. To let it go, or what do you do with it at that point? So I'm sure nobody's standing in front of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would tell him after he secured the twine, if I'm just giving him instructions from the hallway, I would tell him, if you feel it's secure, let it go gradually.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of, from as far away as he possibly can, reaches out, lets go of it, and it immediately, to the very edge of as far as it can go, pulls in that direction and pulls against it constantly, like a dog would be pulling against its chain the entire time in that direction. Kind of as the boat moves, you can see that it seems to fix in that position. So it hasn't really deviated from that course, although it is kind of shifting. It's interestingly as the boat rises and falls, it actually seems to adjust and point directly in a specific direction.
All right, and is this room a room that can be secured in any way?
There's a lock on it. Yeah, absolutely. You guys can lock it. You haven't locked it, but you can. Absolutely.
Let's start locking it now.
Yeah. Shalrog says, no, that's absolutely no problem. I can lock it. You can have the key. I can have the key, whatever you'd like. I have it currently.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
All right. So you guys, anything else, or head back to bed?
Wait a minute, I might pull. Let me see. Did I take that spell? Okay. No, I need to take it. I'll take. Eventually, I'll find Arcane Lock or something. And I'll
Wizard
lock
Lock.
it. Only the people with the password can go in.
That is fancy. You're right.
Andy.
Fancy schmancy.
And I'll do something really tricky too. I'll do multiple Wizard Locks, and people have different passwords.
Oh. Now you're really fancy.
Oh, fancy pants. But I don't have it.
Okay, cool. So you guys go back to bed, or what do you do from here?
Definitely go back to bed. I mean,
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and
This
there's nothing else you see, Londo, that looks like it could run any.
oh no, I guess you weren't there when we summoned the ghost. Were you? You guys weren't, were you?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. So
Alright.
so basically, what happened? I'm sure I would have told you guys all about it, but on the boat ride. But basically, we summoned the ghost that Shalrag knows how to do. and then they told us that to release the curse is to find this guy. And he was a ship captain, right? That's what they told us?
Yeah, he was the previous captain of the Golden Harpy before Captain Kuda pulled the ship from.
Right.
So then I say, now it all makes so much more sense.
Yeah, and Owen seen it. Owen was freaking out, and I think that was it. It was just me and Owen were the only ones on that day.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go back to Yeg, and I kind of just go off to sleep.
Okay. Doing some more eggs.
Yep, I'm doing the egg all night long.
All night. And the rest of you head to sleep. And in
yeah,
the blink
I go
of
sleep.
an eye.
I let Ish know.
Okay.
Oh, I checked. Since I got invisibility going, I'm gonna check all the decks to see what all the ghosts are doing, so I kind of have an idea.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of wander through before you head back to your bunk, and it looks like they are wandering aimlessly from what you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anybody. None of them seem to be on a mission. They all kind of have this glazed over look, and they just seem to be kind of wandering the perimeter throughout the ship.
Are they
guessing-
dressed? Are they dressed
I'm
different?
guessing
They appear to be dressed like traditional sailor kind of attire. Other than the one ghost, you do see the same ghost that you look like you actually conversed with, that's dressed in the robes, and kind of remember what he looked like. He looks like
I'm guessing the scratching stopped, right?
the scratching did stop. That is
Yeah,
correct.
because the dagger was in the case. So
Yeah, when you look in the case, you notice that there's a pretty good gouge on the inside of the case now as to where it was kind of whittling its way through. So.
that's super awesome, by the way. Really cool.
What'd you say?
Thing. It's a really cool thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, this is what you do see. This is the same ghost that you guys actually spoke to that had the conversation,
Right.
and he does seem to be wandering aimlessly as well with the rest of them. But everybody else seems to be dressed in traditional seafarers kind of garb. This one is not. He's dressed in the robes with the.
And did he give a name? I don't remember.
He did not.
Okay. I
Oh, by the
explained
way,
that guy to them.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I explained that guy to him. That's all. I just let him know everything.
Yeah, if you tell them everything, then you definitely. This guy is also ingrained in all of your heads, by the way. So.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's the guy we're trying to find.
That's Captain Nade McCall. That's the vision that is burned into all of your memories. When you immediately bring his name to mind, this image appears in your head in perfect detail.
I kind of don't want to get rid of the ghosts. I think they're cool.
Okay, cool. So you guys all head to sleep. And in the blink of an eye, since you were.
I'll take my shift on upper deck and give the guy in the crow's nest a rest.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, you get over there and check that all out. And you head up to deck, and everybody else sleeps. Everybody else, the blink of an eye, morning arrives. Whisper, you head up on deck at probably 2:30, 3 o'clock, and by 5:45 the sun is breaking the horizon. Let me just see. I've got this fancy thing to roll here. We'll see. Nice day. Nice day breaks. Off in the far distance, looks like to your south, from where you guys are traveling. Way off in the distance, looks like there may be the the potential for a storm front coming in. But as it stands here, just as nice of a day today as it looks like it was yesterday.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So day breaks, and you guys continue on path. Shalrog, you guys get up, and Shalrog is at the helm and steering you on course. He sees you guys come up on deck, I'm assuming, and says, all's well, heading on course. The maps definitely have helped plotting distance, depending upon how accurate our description is, but we should be at the destination by the end of the day today, if it's accurate.
Okay, excellent.
Glorious.
I know, it's an enchanting sea adventure,
I
isn't
don't
it?
know who's playing the music, but it's yeah, I feel like I've won everything.
It's the adventure music. That when we're at sea, it's a nice day, everything's okay.
Anybody who's feeling lucky or unlucky, feel to roll a d20.
I'm feeling lucky.
Go ahead, Captain.
Go ahead.
You are the roller.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to beat that 98 that Whisper rolled earlier for sure.
Okay. You progress along at a good clip, and pretty uneventful day. You see that there's crew members that are fishing and doing some other tasks. I mean, they're definitely kind of traditional stuff. There's still some work that's to be done on the ship with the remainders of what you guys had for materials. Still making repairs where possible on the deck and some of the more cosmetic kind of things. The hole in the front of the boat's pretty well patched at this point, which is great. Luckily, that was above the water line, so it's able to be done as you're kind of underway. So the ship is functioning kind of at full capacity at this point. Anything you guys want to do in your travels? If not, we will skip ahead.
Thank you. I would go try to communicate again with each egg if anybody else doesn't have something to do first, because feel free.
No, I'm just copying the map, so probably
Okay.
Nope. Or just keep an eye out with the crew.
Thank you.
You've got plenty of time. We'll just say you can roll a d4, Sean, to see how many hours it takes you to copy those maps in the detail that you want. Since you're not a cartographer, obviously it's going to take some. You're just going to lay kind of over the top, I'm assuming, and kind of trace as much as possible. So it's not like it's all that difficult, but
Yeah.
just see how long it takes.
Yeah. Is there anyone on the ship that is a cartographer?
There is not. You ask Shalrog, and he says we're short on skilled laborers. Which takes you 4 hours.
Do we have anyone that can draw well? I'm
you'd have to
probably
ask
amateurish at it because I'm sure we're trained to draw, things as
Yeah.
we see them, but I'm probably not.
You spent plenty of time copying text
Yeah.
in books, not so much maps.
Yeah.
So, but obviously you know how to do it. You know how to use a quill. You know how to do all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah. We
you
probably
get it
have
done.
rudimentary stuff.
Yeah,
like maps.
Shalrog says, to be honest, that's not really a skill we ask about when we're bringing in green crew. So you may want to ask around. But
Okay, I will. I will ask someone who's good at drawing and art or whatever.
okay. We'll just say you head down to the mess hall during one of the shift changes kind of things when there's a bulk of people in there, and just kind of make an announcement to the group if there's anybody that's got any.
Yes. Excuse me. I bang on a copper cup or something. Ding, 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 ding. And
They say, it's the ale maker. Ale maker's
yes,
here.
yes. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you a speech about, anything. Never mind. Just
Somebody from the back says, but are you going to make us more ale?
yes. Maybe I'll make some tonight when you're off.
That beer goes up. Hey!
But I am in need of someone who has the fine skills of an artist. I mean, your best drawer or drawers.
You see most people are looking around kind of all over the place. I've sketched naked pictures of my old lady before. Would you like to see them?
Okay,
Somebody
good.
yells.
Everyone starts laughing.
Just people some laughing, so it gets slapped on the back.
I mean, if they're good, yeah.
Hi, well, come to my bunk. I'll show you later.
Okay. All right.
Nobody seems to step up as an actual artist.
And if his stuff is pretty good, I'm gonna have them start. If they have the will, I'm gonna have them start sketching the probably carving into the table. The table, I guess, is attached to the ship, right?
Yeah, they're all bolted down. Any of the furniture is bolted, or the chairs aren't, but the tables are bolted in place. Any of the desks are bolted in place. The beds are bolted in place that are there. Obviously the bunks are hammocks, they swing and that kind of thing. But
okay, I'll have them sketch the navigation maps into the ship itself.
so you go and look at his sketches, and they're a little bit better than stick drawings of basically women in compromising positions and some members that are, drawn at 3 times scale, that kind of thing. What you'd expect for somebody that kind of did that. It's like, what do you think? He's pretty good, eh?
Yeah, well, I think it'll work. I have a job for you, but you won't be drawing naked ladies.
Well, what do you want me to draw? That's the only thing worth drawing.
I guess I've seen some old ship maps. They do have mermaids in it, so you could draw that if you want. But well, I have these
I
maps.
do like the mermaids.
Perhaps you could carve, sketch onto the tables of the captain's room. This might take some time, but I'll help you, and we just want to make sure we always have it. We have these beautiful maps. I show them the maps and explain it to them.
He says, those are some mighty fine maps. What do you want me to do? Anything that gets me out of scrubbing decks and pulling on rigging, I'm all for.
Carve it onto the table, so that we may never lose it.
That's a fine idea. Not got a lot of experience in carving maps. I've whittled my fair share of pipes, though. Would you care for a pipe? I could do that for you.
Oh, yes. Well, I've never smoked, but...
We'll have to remedy that, but maybe later. Yeah, show me what you want me to do.
Alright,
Is, my name Biharda.
Biharda, and
Harda.
Let's start.
Harda.
And then I'll just sit with them, and then I'll have Ish in there, like, I don't know, doing something. If he wants to be.
Okay. Yeah, Ishka is real hesitant at first since it's somebody that he's not familiar with, but I'm assuming you probably reassure him, and he takes up a spot in there and kind of you're doing this in the officer's quarters where the knife is?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys put the knife away or move it, or do you leave it there, or what do you do?
I'm gonna hide the knife while this guy's in there,
Okay.
Wait, which knife? Knife tied to the table?
yeah.
Yep.
We don't need him knowing what it is. I just want to get permanent maps, just in case a fire breaks out or something, so that we always have these.
Just gonna have to hide it. It's not gonna be as easy as just hiding it, but you know.
Oh no, I'm gonna put I'm gonna untie it, put the dagger back in the box, put it away, and then I'll invite him in. So.
Yeah, so we'll say put it back in the box, and the scratching continues as soon as you put it back in the box.
Yeah.
But you quickly figure out if you just wrap it in, one of the burlap cloth bags that's there, it muffles the noise enough that you really can't tell what's going on with it.
Cool.
So stuff it back in there. Okay. Cool. So he gets to work. He says, I'll work on this and do my best.
Okay.
That's
So
about it.
Why don't you roll a d20, and we'll assign a difficulty to see how accurate he is. We'll say
I'm gonna help him, so I'll definitely give him advantage if he can get it.
Yeah, we'll say you get advantage. It's fine. I'm just having you roll because it's kind of a one-shot deal.
Just any die 20?
Yeah, just do a d20 and with advantage. And I already assigned a difficulty. It's not going to be that hard.
Oh, okay. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if I see it or.
It doesn't matter. I'll roll it. You'll know if it comes out right or wrong or not. So. Yeah, so you tell them exactly what you want them to do. You lay it out in
Oh,
detail.
no.
Here's where I want you to start. Here's where I want it to go. You literally walk out of the room, walk down to go get a drink, and talk to the rest of the crew. See if maybe there's somebody else that could work in shifts. And you come back, and he has taken the knife and literally, like a 4-year-old, has drawn a kind of a map on this table and gouged it in there. And you look at it in comparison to the map that's there, and it's not even close. Like it's not even looks like the same continent or shoreline at all. He's like, "What do you think? Look at how much that I've gotten done already."
I'm sorry, if you look at the maps here, they don't really match up. I'm sorry, I think we'll have to send it and start again.
He looks.
Is there any way that they can? Like,
Oh, you wanted me to copy that map? I had one in my head that I thought you wanted. That's what I was drawing here.
Oh, no.
My mistake. Yes, we can definitely get started again. I'll see if anybody knows any woodworking. I'll be right back.
Oh.
He walks out of the room and heads
Alright.
down. You can find somebody else.
Anyways.
Good idea. I like it. All right, cool. Anybody else want to do anything as you have some time?
Yeah.
You want to touch the eggs? I know. Go ahead.
I want to. So, do you want me to do 6 rolls again?
Yep.
It's like your boobies or something.
Before
I like to fondle me eggs.
Before I try to see like if they communicate, I'm gonna do like anything any images. By the way, it was Beast Spawn was what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
But before I do that, I'm going to just in the time that we had before that, I'm kind of sending them all like images of are they injured. So like in my mind, I'm saying are any of you hurt? Like I'm picturing like little hurt dragons. Are any of you hurt or those type of images? And again, it's still like in our warm atmosphere in like our mother type of way that I'm sending these images. But kind of trying to portray for hurt and if they need anything. All right, so then I'll roll.
Okay.
Survival, right?
Survival. Yep.
6 times with advantage.
6 times. And just roll them. It's going to show you advantage or not. So just yeah.
That was just one, or did I click twice?
Twice.
And even though the one seemed to me like it may have been dead, that doesn't make me stop trying to communicate with it. So I'm just still trying on that as if it is alive.
Okay. The first 2, you're not sure. You're not really getting anything from the first 2. The second one, you still think is dead. The first one, you're not getting any sort of a response from at all. The third one,
Wait, the third one's the one that I thought was dead, right?
nope. The third one is the one that came back as. Oh yeah, third one was the one you thought was dead. Sorry. The third one you. Hold on one second. The first one you're not getting anything from. The second and the third one you think are dead.
Wait. I think the second one's dead now. That's totally different than before.
It is
Want me to? Okay, so now I think the second one is dead.
correct.
Got it.
The fifth one. 1, 2, 3,
Wait,
4.
fourth one.
Jeez,
first.
how many did you get? Oh my god.
There's
we're
6
such a
eggs.
target.
6 eggs. Yep.
Do the fourth one first, right? We're going in order.
Oh, fourth one. Yep. So the fourth one, you're actually getting some. You're getting feelings of almost like you kind of sent them messages around feeling of are they okay? This
Yeah.
one's sending back a message of almost sickness, kind of almost like I don't know how to describe it even. An unknown illness, so not necessarily like an injury so much as it is just kind of a general feeling of sick, of not well, is what you're getting from that one. The fifth one, you're not getting anything from at this point, and the sixth one, the same.
Sixth one is nothing as well. Okay. I'm gonna cast Healing Spirit.
Okay.
I'll read it to you. I call an intangible.
Just copy it into the chat if you want.
That's yeah.
You can, if you select it, if you actually just hit the name, it'll automatically copy it.
I'd have been done reading it by now.
Oh, go ahead.
You call an intangible spirit to a 5-foot space you can see. Until the spell ends, when you or a creature are enter the space that the spirit's in. So I'm going to cast it in the 5-foot spirit in the 5-foot section over top of the eggs.
Uh-huh.
What are you
cause?
casting?
You can cause the spirit to restore 1d6 hit points to a creature. So I don't know. I'm not going to know if it works or does anything, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
Sounds
good.
A water spirit.
It'll cause one. It'll restore 1d6 hit points to any creatures within the 5-foot span of it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Go ahead. Roll.
The only thing it doesn't work on is constructs or undead.
Cool.
Wait, what level are you?
I'm level 4. It's only level 2 spell, so.
You don't get a level 2 spell for a while, I think. Unfortunately.
Oh, I don't have that. It says second level. I don't have a level 2 spell.
Well, your 4th level. Yeah, you don't have second level spells. I'm sorry.
Damn.
That is a really good idea, though. You can give yourself inspiration for that. How's that?
All right.
That would be perfect. I don't mean to pop your bubble,
But you can't. But you can't do it. That's fine.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna try to the one that said that he was sick.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to send it images of temperature of like hot and cold and see if it responds to it needs a change. I'm gonna also send it images of like, you know, sunlight. I'm gonna send it images of like, you know, warmer, like fire warmth. Hey, I'll send him an image of me sitting on it. I'm just gonna see what he responds to there.
Hey, did you give us experience from last time?
You should have gotten 1,000, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm at 2,000. How are you 4th level, fool?
Let me look at what I really am. I just said that off a whim.
Oh, okay. You're probably 3rd then, no worries.
I am 3rd with 1425.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just trying to use a spell. I didn't really look at anything. I didn't even know I couldn't use a spell.
No worries.
When it said second level, I honestly thought it was like a character level too. I wasn't thinking spell level.
Yeah.
You're just a cheater. I get it. Don't worry about it.
I'm trying to save my eggs.
It's a good idea.
I know, that would be perfect.
yeah,
That'd be awesome.
Do I get anything back from it?
You send that to the you know, the 4th egg.
The one that's sick, yeah.
Right. And you don't really get any sort of a reply from it, just kind of a general feeling of illness that still waves from it, comes back from it. Kind of the same exact feeling.
It needs its mother's love.
I try to hover squat, sit on top of it. Very gently because I'm afraid of hurting the egg. So
Yep.
I just kind of use my athletic legs to kind of just touch my ass on top of it and warm them up a little bit.
Oh, great. It's a little more difficult than you thought with the rocking of the ship there, but you definitely are able to do it. You can definitely feel some of the heat from your anus is starting to leach into the egg a little bit. So you think you're accomplishing your
Okay, I'll just sit there. That's all.
I like it. It's perfect.
I kind of walked by you. I'm like, what are you doing up there?
Don't you look at a mother sitting on his eggs. On your way. On your way. There's nothing to see here.
I kind of giggle to myself. Captain flipped his lid.
No doubt.
Seems to have lost it a bit. Yes. Okay. Good. So, anybody else want to do anything since you have some time?
I mean, there's not much we can do, right? I mean, what?
We're on a boat, sailing. Okay, cool. No problem.
You could do.
So you
fishing.
continue. Yes, they're fishing. You can definitely fish if you like. You can do whatever you like. You can guys have some time, but If not, no big deal. Continue on. Just as the sun is beginning to kind of sink down into onto the horizon, you can see the globe kind of has cast the sky in sort of a reddish glow as the sun sinks. Off in the distance, you hear from the crow's nest, "Land ho!" And you guys look and strain and try and figure it out, and you can see the sun sets, and just behind the sun, you can see the outline of a very small piece of land and a very large, looks like some sort of structure that just seems to be coming out of the ocean over there.
Like
It's
a
good.
harbor,
It's miles
post, or
away. Your guess it's probably 10 miles away at this point. Still, just on the edge of your vision, kind of on
like
the
a
horizon.
lighthouse or something.
You wouldn't think it's a lighthouse. It looks probably like it's some sort of structure, but it's a ways off yet. But it's in the exact direction that you're heading.
All right.
Stralrog, who's at the helm, says, "I think we may have found our destination."
Yes, indeed.
What does he suggest about where we land?
Well, it depends on the approach you want to take.
Didn't
You know
you
these are slavers, so they
Sorry?
tend to be the type that is interested in profits. So I don't know if you're planning on raiding the place or taking a different approach, but you tell me what you think. You guys are in charge at this point.
Well, I think we need to go to the meeting room and discuss this.
I agree. Let's discuss it, and I kind of tell Scalrag to come with us too.
All right, you guys head to the meeting room, and you walk in and you see that Harda and another crew member that you're not familiar with are hard at work with hand planers on the top of the table, just shaving it away. It looks like it's lost about a quarter inch in thickness at this point, and they're just, "Oh, I'm sorry. Are you going to be using this room? Do you want us to come back later?"
We've come upon the land, and yes, we need to discuss if you don't mind.
Not a problem. Let's go. And they both head out and kind of drop the planers where they're at, and there are now wood shavings kind of all around the table on either side. And
sorry about the commission. I commissioned them to put the maps on the table. I said
None of that is relevant right now. It's fine. It's fine. You can carve any tables you like, old man. And I suggest we do not go right ashore. I'd like to maybe see if we could hide the ship and take one of the small tenders for a scout party.
Yes.
How far away are we going to go around, or? I mean, we obviously we can't use the familiar for more than 100 feet away, and there's no way we can hide a ship and get close enough to do that.
Yeah, so I was hoping actually to scout around. We're still 10 miles out and see if we can hide the ship somewhere, maybe in a cove or behind maybe another small island here, and then just take the small tender boat up to scout the island.
Yeah,
first.
we could land some distance away, and I think we need to find information on like who's in there and who to talk to, and
yeah. So I think we should go kind of covert and maybe just blend in and scout around. Maybe Whisper, you and I might be best suited for the scouting operation.
Oh, I actually
We have to hide our collars.
I might be able to do pretty good because I can go invisible.
That's true. You might be better at all of us because we have collars.
Old man, can you fully hide yourself and scout the island for us? Is that, and you won't be found? I ask because I don't know.
Well, I could be invisible. I mean, I don't think anyone could see me. I also can disguise myself as someone else as well.
So in that case, why don't the three of us go, and possibly Owen can stay back with the ship? to keep guard as well. But first, maybe we should scout around to find somewhere that's good to conceal the ship, or at least somewhere far out of sight that we could leave the ship while we take the tender.
I agree. Yeah, we won't enter in until we can question someone outside the place. If we stay far enough away, we should be okay. And I can disguise myself as your master without the collar.
And hopefully, Whisper and I might be able to find some cover where you don't even need to let on to our presence. We'll have to make that call when we get onto the mainland and see.
Yes.
But so yeah, okay. I think we agree, right? Whisper, you on board? So if we agree with that, I would kind of instruct Scalrag to keep this 10-mile berth right now, and maybe just start doing a half circle and looking while we're looking for a good spot that we might be able to either A, anchor the ship out of sight, which is what we'll do if we don't find anything better than that, or B, maybe if there's any other little island we could go behind, or any other little landmass we could go behind, anything like that. Just kind of a 10-mile circle right now to just find a spot for the to anchor the boat.
Okay. Yeah, Shelrog pulls out the map and kind of lays it on the table, and he says, from what I'm seeing here, it looks like we're going to have to find an uncharted island, because I'm not seeing any landmass here that's anywhere within range that we'll be able to anchor up to. But there's bound to be something if we look for long enough.
Could you put the map on the screen for me, please?
Oh, yeah, the major map, the big map?
Whatever one we have that has the most detail. I don't know if it's the major or the... Whatever we have that has the most detail of where we're at, the island. So, do we suspect we're on that little kidney-shaped island?
So the as far as the maps that you have, this is the most closest landmass that you know of is this island here.
So we're in the yellow square on an uncharted island.
Correct. And just based on the distance travel, that's probably another day or maybe even more to get to that island in the other direction.
I mean, we can just anchor the ship.
I agree. Let's just get out of the shipping lanes here, maybe off to the eastern side of this island, 10 to 15 miles, and anchor there with them. We'll leave Owen on lookout.
Yeah, but he shouldn't do any talking, because he's a slaver. He shouldn't do any talking, because he's a slave. You see, if he does the talking, then I think it's best that Skullrag.
He's not a slave on board our ship.
No, we are both a slave to these people.
I'm saying to leave him on lookout on the ship, and the three of us will take the tender to the island.
That's fine.
Is that okay? Yeah, the crew doesn't think he's a slave. so yeah, that's my suggestion, Alando. Unless you think we should go about it another way, please.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so then I suggest that me, Whisper, and Alando take the tender down, and after we kind of get the ship, as long as we get there safely, maybe about 10. I'll go 10, just so it doesn't take forever to get there in the tender. 10 miles off the eastern side of the island, and then we'll try to take the tender. I would say at nightfall to the island.
Yes.
So as soon as it, we'll go during the day. We'll just get positioned, and then we'll get some supplies on our tender, basic stuff, and then we'll take it over to the island at nightfall.
Okay.
Yes.
With the small tender boat that you have, you guys wait for nightfall, like you said, and it takes a while to get there because you're obviously rowing, and with just a few of you in the boat, it definitely takes some time to kind of get there. But you guys set out kind of at dusk, I'm assuming, or do you guys wait longer?
I'd say we'd leave at dusk if we're expecting it to be a few hours.
Yeah, we'll just say it'll take about 3 hours to get there, kind of by rowing carefully, because you're obviously trying to remain hidden too, with you doing that. So, but you head over, and as you approach, you kind of. as you approach, you do see. You actually have to get relatively close. You can definitely see the ominous kind of large building. And as you get within, let's say, about a half a mile of the structure, it starts. You can see the torchlight kind of that's on the top of this towers. There's these massive. It's just a very small piece of land that's there, and there's massive tower rises up from the back of this structure. It seems to be 5 different towers that are all connected by walls with an inner. It seems to be some sort of inner courtyard with a very large portcullis gate in there, all made out of some stone. Appears to be probably natural, maybe stone, seafloor kind of stone that's all been built up over time. Seems to be extremely imposing. And you can actually, you see multiple torches kind of around the entire perimeter there on the top. I can show you the map. As you get closer, perception. Both Strider and Whisper, as you get close, you actually notice that there are additional ships that are docked here as well. Looks like you see, as you approach, you see 2 ships that have shown up that seem to be docked in the shallow water around the ships there. On your approach, you're kind of try and do your best to avoid them, obviously.
Yeah, while we're there, do we see any insignias on those ships?
You're not that close. Would you like to get that close?
No, I wouldn't. I would try to scout out along the shoreline for a non-populated area, like a woodsy area.
So I'll reveal this map so you can see what we're looking at here.
And I kind of look at Alondo and Whisper and explain like I'm looking for somewhere quiet that we might be able to pull up to. Does that sound good, guys?
Good play. Very good.
Let me see. You guys are just going to kind of scout around the island, right? That's what you just said you were going to do. So
Yeah.
You mean in the water?
Yeah, in your boat, right?
Right now, yeah. I'm going to stay a half mile off since it's dark. I feel like, safe. If I see any lights or anything, I would definitely avoid them. Looking for a quiet, like, whether we wooded or like an abandoned beach, something like that.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make your way around. We'll just say you look at the whole island and make your way around the exterior and take the time because it's really not. There's nothing pressing that you can see going on right this second. If you're going to be that far off, you'll get a little bit of a idea as to what's happening here. So.
And I guess we get a feel for about how big the island is then first.
Yeah, you'll definitely see that.
I keep hearing these beeps.
It's Al's poker game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't want to say anything yet.
You won $1 billion.
I just passed 1,500
Nice.
1,500.
in real money.
Oh, that's nice. I want your job. Is that all you do for work?
No, it's not my job. It's just hobby fun.
Some hobby. Most hobbies cost people money.
This hobby can cost me a lot of money too. Right? It's poker. You buy in. You don't always win.
That's for sure.
Tonight's going actually really well. You guys are good luck for me. We're going to be playing D&D every big tournament.
All right, so you guys, we'll say you skirt the area within a half mile, and you this is what you see. So there's a small island here, and this actual compound seems to take up the entire island. This area right here is seems to be the front, and the gate is at this section right here. You notice that there actually are 3 ships that are parked around, one on the north of the island, one. You guys originally came in from this side over here, kind of the northeast, and came through. So you'll see this is a pretty good size compound. This top tower is about 70 feet across. The biggest one there is over 120 feet across. So it's a big structure. and you can see each one of these squares is about 30 feet. So
Okay. Do we
I'm
see
just
anyone
trying to fix
walking
this. Does it look
outside?
like a castle? Sorry. Alando, go ahead.
Do we see anyone walking outside?
you don't see anybody kind of on the exterior on the grounds at all, but it is pretty well lit. Kind of looks like here. So there's torches along the top, and as you guys have gotten closer, you can actually see that there are torches staked in the ground periodically around the perimeter as well.
How sheer are those cliffs?
If you were to take your tinder boat right up to it, it would be about 25 feet above your head if you were going to do it. So you think you may be able to do it, but you're going to have difficulty landing and tying off a boat there. But you think you could probably scale it, you think yourself.
So the whole those cliffs are like right on the shore into the water.
The water runs right up against to it. Yep. So it basically it runs. This is almost like a plateau, this island, and then it drops in kind of a sheer cliff there, about 25 feet to the water.
Okay. So now, is there any spot? We can see on top of the plateau pretty well or if we're far enough out.
You can see that the buildings are there, and that there's an imposing wall that's about 30 foot high. The wall itself, all the way around this structure.
I think somebody just asked this, but do we see any people on the at all?
You don't. No.
Okay. So, I Whisper, I think you and I can work our way up this wall, and we'll throw Alando a rope and help him up. Does that sound? You think you can make it up there with me? Whisper.
I'm thinking.
Oh.
Where are you guys planning on coming ashore, by the way?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, I mean, first I want to see if he thinks he can, if he agrees with this plan. Then we can. I was thinking just the quietest spot. You know, I didn't pick a spot yet.
25 feet. I mean, we use grappling hooks and shimmied up. The thought I had.
I mean, once we get in there, what if you're spotted? We can't get out.
It's a lot easier to get down 25 feet than it will be to get up it.
My thought was we use grappling hooks and make a net ladder so we could come up and down, but I don't know if we have time to do everything tonight.
Yeah, and I also think that I think once we're in there, we'll be trapped. What's our plan? We got to find out information. We might want to approach one of the ships.
Don't you think these ships will be guarded with their crew?
Of course. We could sneak onto one of the ships, and maybe we can take out the guards and find out what they're wearing, and use that for a disguise, so we can at least walk around in there. Right now, we don't even have a disguise. I don't even know what they look like.
I thought you told me you could go invisible.
I can, but you can't, and what's going to happen if you get captured? I'm not no good at breaking people out of jails, or I don't know, they might behead you, and
Yeah, we need more information about them overall.
before we go walking in there.
Anything about them.
Yeah, so I think we
I
should
would suggest we approach the ships.
well, maybe we should approach that small ship there. We can, play the ode, hey, we're over here. We need help. And then, or maybe we just approach them, and then I can pretend I'm your slave master without the collar, and then, we could just talk to them about where we go. And
How are the ships? Are they just anchored out in the water?
They're anchored in the shallow water around the island. Yep.
Okay, yeah, that definitely sounds like a good idea to me. Then I would agree.
Hey, but we just go up to a smaller ship, and I think maybe, or we could do this. I could just stay on the boat, and you guys could go in the water and come up from the back of the ship.
I would, Alando, you were thinking the same thing as me, but I was thinking, why don't we try both plans? You act like Whisper's slaver, while I'll wait in the water around the opposite side in case anything goes hairy.
I think it's best that maybe you two both go. I can talk to them, I think.
Okay.
Before we do a lot of this, I've got an early meeting tomorrow, and I'm starting to fade a little bit. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know.
Yeah, this is a good spot to kind of.
Do you want to stop now, Mark? Yeah.
This is a
Yeah,
good spot.
I
Just for you guys.
apologize, but
No. just from a planning perspective too. So yeah, that small boat is there. This old area right here that I'm highlighting, that kind of ramp goes down into the water. There actually is a small dock there too, that is exactly for tender ships. And you see that there are in fact 3 tender ships that are tied up there too. Just so you know.
Oh, are there people on those ships?
They're not ships; they're just boats. They're a little bigger than your little rowboat that you're in, but you can definitely tell that they're tender ships for larger vessels. And no, you didn't see anybody as you passed by.
And the small ship, does this thing have like 2 decks, or is it just like a?
That one it's not really represented in that picture very well because it's super tiny, but is a single masted, looks like a merchant vessel of some sort. Looks like a kind of a short range kind of vessel is what it looks like to you, rather than a big ocean bearing vessel.
Yeah, yeah, that would be the easiest one for us to hijack.
I agree.
And then we can look like those people on it and maybe walk around, or we can get information from them.
Good plan,
Sounds
old
like a
man.
good plan.
Sounds a lot easier than climbing this wall. I like it.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, it was a lot of fun. Good night,
Thanks
Mark.
for letting me play.
No, yeah.
Hey, good night.
Don't be. I hope you're not the person with all my good luck tonight.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, as I get pocket queens on this hand too.
I'll thank Tiffany for letting me play tonight too.
There you
All
go.
fellas.
Talk to you later.
I said thank you.
We'll see you Saturday or something.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
cool.
See you Saturday.
Bye.
Bye. I shall stop recording. I should go.